changed and become more goal-filled, more attacking?
It certainly does. I mean, the games that I've been watching have been very open. You know, there's counter-attacks and that are getting on top of teams. A lot of room in midfield, a lot of room to play between the thirds. I've got to say, obviously, the laws of the game are such that defenders can't be as aggressive as they used to be. And I think this is probably going to be the most open and high-scoring championships that we've seen for a very long time.
Yeah, there seems very little doubt that will be the case. But it's interesting that at the last Euros, that game that you were talking about, the first game against Croatia, which England won 1-0, 7 of the 11 that started that game 3 years ago start again tonight. It's the same formation, and yet there is a completely different feel about England's MO. Now, it's not going to be the ability to grind out 1-0 wins and get to the final of the tournament having only conceded once en route. There's a sense that more often than not, England are going to concede. Their defensive record has gone downhill pretty rapidly over the last 3 years. And so England are going to have to blast sides out of the way, which seems to be the way that most sides will win the tournament. I think that even, 3 days in, you look at whoever's going to win the tournament will probably concede over their 7 games, 6-7 goals. That would never have been a recipe for success in the past. But things have changed so quickly.
Jim, you talked about 7 of those players 3 years ago, started then. Talk to me about those players that have come to supplement that and the talent that they've brought, the extra 4. We're talking Bellingham, I take it, Foden?
No, Phil started. He started on the right. So the difference is Tyrone Mings started in the absence of Harry Maguire that first game. Harry came back for the 3rd game in the tournament, having been injured and missed the first 2. So obviously Gahey is playing in there. Trent is playing instead of Calvin Phillips in the midfield alongside Declan Rice. Different role for Phil Foden, who's out on the right-hand side. Saka didn't start that game, so Saka has come in. He effectively takes a wide berth in place of Raheem Sterling, and Jude Bellingham plays instead of Mason Mount. So those are the 4 changes from that side 3 years ago. So you can see, just with the difference in personnel, that although it's the same formation, it's a much more attack-minded side that has been picked.
Indeed. Well, that win against Croatia at the Euros 3 years ago was England's only ever win in their first game of a European Championships. They've drawn 5, lost 4 of the others. Incredible stat, really. And the goal that day, the winning goal, was created by Calvin Phillips, scored by Raheem Sterling. Neither player, as Jim was saying, in the England squad for these Euros here in Germany. Now, this stadium was opened in 2001. It's the home of Schalke, who finished mid-table in Bundesliga 2, the 2nd division in Germany. And the last time England played here was at the 2006 World Cup. It was England against Portugal. It was Rooney against Ronaldo, and of course it didn't go England's way.
And what's the referee done here is another Portugal player goes down, holding his face, and Ronaldo is going in there and remonstrating, and this is a dangerous moment for England, and Rooney is sent off. England are down to 10 men, and that will be that, and we're going to get penalties. We've done it, the whistle's gone. Here's Jamie again. Right footed, and the keeper has tipped it onto the bar. Robinson has to save it. If Ronaldo scores, we're out. A stuttered run up. It's the same old story. England eliminated from a major tournament by those dreaded, blasted penalty kicks.
Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
This tournament, prepare for greatness with William Hill. Get ready for last-minute winners, legendary goals, and straight red cards. Oh, what was he thinking? Win 50% more on every England game this tournament with Bet Builder Extra, online or in the app. Only from William Hill. Available day before match to kick-off. Bet Builders are 3+ selections at 3-1 or more. Pre-match singles, match stake £20. Full T's and C's apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
Well, you can see why people are talking about Asda, can't you?
Of course, on paper, Asda have a great lineup with 2 for £20 on packs of beer like Peroni. Then there's party wear from £1. The midfield trio of bunting, face paint and flags.
And don't forget the dependable 2 for £7 on Coke 8-packs could be the difference maker. What a lineup!
Get match ready at Asda with beer and decorations on offer until the 14th of July. Asda. That's more like it. Selected stores online subject to availability. Beer packs 10 times 330ml each. Not available in Scotland. Coke 330ml, £4.25 each. May exclude express in small stores. See AZOIR.com/small stores.
Let's go live to hear about that winning goal.
The crowd's gone absolutely wild here. How on earth do you sum up your emotions right now?
Amazing. A hat-trick is just the best feeling ever.
Is it though? Is kicking a ball into the back of the net really better than food fulfillment from Burger King? That warm, fuzzy feeling of total food satisfaction, like finishing the last bite of a Gourmet King's Barbecue Steakhouse Angus.
No.
Correct. Burger King. That's food fulfillment.
This Euros, The Sun is bringing you all the gossip, goals and giants of the game. Get insights and analysis from Harry, should have been England manager, Redknapp, Jack, the maestro, Wilshere, Gordon, no nonsense, Strachan, and Jurgen, the winner, Klinsmann. You won't want to miss it. Don't miss out, only in The Sun.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
On the beach, on the beach, on the beach.
Booking geniuses, save your summer. Get a wiggle on and book yourself a bargain with On the Beach. Big budget or small, we've got a mega holiday for all. Should have been a rapper. On the Beach, book like a genius, holiday like a fool.
ATO protected.
On the beach.
Create your avatar. Pwn your first nude. Enjoy your newfound power. Climb the leaderboard. Dominate the leaderboard. Listen to people scream your gamer tag. Kirsty_26. 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 For less.
Selected IKEA gaming setups are now at a new lower price, along with thousands of other products. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
Game over. Here she is, the three-time world champion. What has she got in store for us today? Things are starting to heat up. Here she goes.
Triple builders, double stir. I don't believe it. And a chocolate digestive to finish it off. A thing of beauty, you have to say. The judges are gonna love this one.
British Gas, powering home fans during this summer of sport.
Euro Game Day Live, delivered by TalkSport with Burger King. Get the ultimate food satisfaction this half-time with the flame-grilled bacon double cheeseburger XL. Order now on the Burger King app.
I say, this summer vote for TalkSport, your official general election and football station.
Full live commentary of UEFA Euro 2024 Germany throughout the tournament.
They're off and running!
Plus, almost full commentary at general election started already. TalkSport is first between the posts every day.
Oh, he's got it!
We've got the polls.
And the goals.
What a strike!
We've got the landslides.
And the knee slides.
How about that?
It's balls, ballots and Berlin on your Football 2024 election station.
Oh, that's top European quality!
Order!
Talk Sport.
Half an hour to kick off live on TalkSport. England, Serbia. England getting their Euro 2024 campaign underway. Let's remind you of the team news. Here's your England commentator on TalkSport, Jim Proudfoot.
And 7 of the side that started the Iceland defeat are on duty tonight in a team that was widely anticipated. Kieran Trippier at left back, Trent Alexander-Arnold in midfield, Phil Foden on the left. So it's Pickford in goal, Walker, Stones, Gahey and Trippier, Rice and Alexander-Arnold, Saka, Bellingham, Foden and Kane. 8 of that team started the World Cup quarter-final at Alcor 18 months ago. The big surprise in the Serbian side, the inclusion of Rajkovic in goal. There's a back three of Milenkovic, Veljkovic and Pavlovic, Zivkovic, Lukic, Gudel and Kostic. Sergej Milinkovic will push forward alongside Vlahovic with Mitrovic up front. 7 of that 11 play in one of Europe's top 5 leagues. Kick-off here in Gelsenkirchen, 13 minutes away.
And it is England against Serbia, Euro 2024. Let's look at the latest odds ahead of the action with William Hill.
In the Zone on TalkSport with William Hill. Prepare for greatness with William Hill. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Lee Phelps from William Hill. Talk to me about the game then. England against Serbia. I'm assuming England are favourites.
Yeah, the 1-2 favourites, but we've got them at even money on the Epic odds at the minute, and that has been absolutely hammered, I can tell you. The traders are very nervous now. People have been getting all over that all day, not unsurprisingly, because you can get even money, even if it is a max bet of a tenner. I think a lot of people are confident, and since the team news, we've seen a lot of supporters for the goal scorers and the assists. It looks a more attacking lineup, doesn't it, against this Serbia side who, listening to that team news there, they're no mugs. This isn't going to be a walkover, of course. Serbia are 6-1, by the way, to win the game. The draw is 16-5, and I could well see them getting on the score sheet here, because I think England's weakness has been the defence. So maybe if you're looking at just the outrights, you're looking at maybe a match result on both teams to score. That might be the way to go with it. But look, it's all about England, and it's all about Kane. Everyone wants to be with Kane to score, not surprisingly. He's odds on to score at any time, though. To score first, he's 3-1.
Well, listen, we're going to focus in just a moment on what Serbia offer, what strengths they've got, what dangers they've got. We'll do that in a moment, but let's focus on the group, because Group C opened up earlier with Denmark 1, Slovenia 1. So how has that affected the odds to qualify from the group?
Well, England, not surprisingly, 25-1 on to qualify from the group. Denmark 1-2, Serbia 8-15. So between them, it's almost a pick-em. And Slovenia, the outsiders here, at 6-4. But between those three, it's fairly tight. England, absolute, 1-25, it's pretty much through, according to the bookies.
Lee, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much. That was a look at the latest odds. Thanks to William Hill. Terms and conditions apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
In the Zone on TalkSport with William Hill. Prepare for greatness with William Hill. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
Early ball into Mitrovic! What a header! What a goal! And Serbia are level!
Mitrovic is obviously a goal scorer. He's proven that throughout his whole career for both club and for country. As a striker myself, you appreciate other strikers who score a lot of goals.
Headed goalwards and in! Alexander Mitrovic on mark, 6 yards out. The result was inevitable.
With Mitrovic, I think he really knows his craft. He knows the areas of the pitch that he's particularly dangerous. He's an outstanding goal scorer.
Well, let's focus on the Serbian legend. Actually, a bigger Serbian legend was just on the big screen. There's a big cube hanging high above the centre circle. 4 big screens are on it, facing each side of the ground. And Novak Djokovic, an absolute Serbian legend, the tennis god, was on that big screen wishing the team the best luck. Huge cheer when he appeared on the screen as well. Alexander Mitrovic probably admits he may well be second to Novak Djokovic when it comes to being in the hearts of the Serbian fans, but he is about goals, Stuart Pearce. He scored 28 in 28 winning the Saudi Pro League this season with Al Hilal, and for context on that, Ronaldo scored 35 in 31 for Al Nassr, who finished second. They were far and away the top 2 scorers in Saudi last season. Mitro got 5 in 7 in qualifying, and his record is comparable to Harry Kane's at the international level, 58 in 91 for Serbia.
Better out. They will be bombarded, the back line, with stats. The goalkeeper especially, by the way. We talk about defenders dealing with it. The goalie's got to come and claim stuff as well and be strong when he goes and does that. But if we can keep the ball out of our box and stop set plays, all well and good.
Yeah, that's going to be one of the keys tonight. Mitrovic is so good in the areas you've detailed, and they've scored in 23 of their last 25 games. They've scored in each of their last 10. So many goals from headers to stop the supply is going to be a lot easier than beating Mitrovic in the air. They tend to build up down the left-hand side, where they've got Kostic and Pavlovic. The left-footed centre-half will come forward. They work in tandem. Then there's a switch of play, and they like a right-footed delivery from Zivkovic on the right-hand side, looking for Mitrovic. That's how they will try and exploit England tonight.
Kostic is a talent. We come up against him at West Ham, and I remember he had a real good effect in the game against us, can get a goal, can deliver, got a wonderful left foot. So he is a threat as well.
Well, that was in the Europa League run that's with Eintracht Frankfurt, wasn't it? And they won the final against Rangers, so he's got that under his belt. He is a talent. Are you surprised that Dusan Tadic, although he's 35, has been left on the bench? Because he's an assist machine. 16 goals, 16 assists for Fenerbahce, all competitions, 4 assists in 6 qualifiers, and over 108 caps, 23 goals. So he doesn't just create, he scores as well.
Well, slightly, but as we've said time and time again, you might have to dip to the bench. You know what I mean? And I think both teams will have to dip to the bench for shoring up purposes, or alternatively to win the game purposes.
My thinking on that would be that they want an extra body in the midfield. They brought Goodell back, who's had these injury problems, so he'll play in midfield as a defensive-minded central midfielder. Fulham fans will tell you that Sasha Lukic will do exactly the same. He's not going to be showing any attacking industry. So the fact that they've gone with Sergej Milinkovic-Savic to play that little bit deeper probably means that they just want to make sure that they're shoring things up in the middle, and that's where they might be able to get a numerical advantage against England with 4 bodies in there as opposed to the 3 that we know that England are going to have. They're going to lose a little bit of attacking intent by doing that, but they've got Vlahovic who will push forward in support, and possibly a more natural player, a little bit more pacey, to play in behind Mitrovic in support. So I think that's the thinking why Tadic is going to be used as an impact sub tonight, because they want Milinkovic-Savic to be in there to bolster the midfield in those 3 along with Lukic and Goodell.
So Stuart, Jim, are we looking at a clash in styles tonight? England will try to play their way towards goal while Serbia will try to aerially bombard the England net. Is that what we're looking at tonight, do you think?
From England's point of view, I would like us to mix it up a little bit. The other night I thought we played some intricate stuff through the thirds, but when it went out wide, I don't think that ball come in the box. I would still like us to put the ball in the box and create chaos when we can.
And one of the things that we've seen over the 6 games that we've seen in this tournament so far, which I'm pretty sure we're going to see again tonight, is a high, not particularly mobile back line from Serbia. So I think if you're going to exploit them, it's not necessarily your ability to be able to thread those very clever eye of the needle passes. It's going to be hit it into space and play with pace. And the concern would be that there's not a magnificent amount of pace in that England side, but that I think is a way that you can exploit Serbia if you can get them turned. I know, having spoken to a couple of Serbian journalists, they're worried about them.
But the frustration in those 2 friendlies that we just mentioned, the Bosnia where they won 3-0 in the end, Iceland where they lost 1-0, there was a low block. That's not going to happen here tonight, but they have gone with 3 at the back, and I'm wondering how England will perceive that. What will be the message from Gareth Southgate when he's addressing the players and saying, well, they're 3 at the back, this is what you've got to do?
I always find it easier to play out from the back with a 3. That will be my experience. I don't think we particularly pressed particularly well against Iceland, and mitigating circumstances I understand. I think getting the press right and making sure that they can't get a foothold in the game and play through the thirds. If Jim is suggesting that they've got a numbers superiority in midfield, last thing we want them to do is build from the back, play into midfield where they've got a numbers game on us.
So do you think, if you were Gareth, would you rather your side played against the 3 or against the 4?
I always think if my team are better than the opposition, I'll match them up and beat them, because man for man we're better than they are. I don't want their lineup and their tactical approach to even the balance, if you like. You know what I mean? But it's one of these. If you're England, you've got to play your own game, and this lineup for England can switch to a 3. Walker slides in 1, Saka drops back slightly, Trippier advances. All of a sudden we've got a 3 on our hands.
And a quick one in terms of what to watch out for. Gabby Agbonlahor said on the previous show he wants Kane to be pressing from the front, from the off. So just say the Serbia keeper's got the ball, rolls it out to one of his 3 centre-backs. Are you expecting Kane to be right on top of him?
No, because it's not his game. Harry Kane's not a heavy press type of player. If you've got Gabby up front, and he done it brilliantly for me in the under-21s, he's got the legs and the energy to do it and do it time again and predict play one way or the other, and then accordingly you come in from behind. I'm thinking with our front 4, I'm not seeing a great pressing front 4, to be fair. Now, listen, they're intelligent players, all of them, and if Gareth's worked on it, I think we'll see it evident tonight.
Defensively, though, they don't have a great record. Only 5 clean sheets in their last 25 competitive internationals. What's the major sticking point as far as they're concerned? Individual errors under pressure. England can get the press right tonight. It's the key to winning this game.
I am feeling a little bit nervous. There's a lot of white now. The England fans have made their way through the town and out here to the stadium, and they've made their way to their seats as well. They'll all be nervous too. That team news is that Trent Alexander-Arnold is in midfield for England. He does start. It's Gay alongside Stones at centre-back. You're listening to Euro Game Day live on TalkSport, presented by Burger King. Bring home the ultimate food satisfaction. Get your favourites delivered now. There's 15 minutes to kick off, live on TalkSport.
Euro Game Day live, delivered by TalkSport with Burger King. Save big with the $4.99 King Box. It's the ultimate match day lineup, featuring a barbecue double melt burger, chili cheese bites, fries, and a drink.
This tournament, prepare for greatness with William Hill. Get ready for last-minute winners, legendary goals, and straight red cards. Oh, what was he thinking? Win 50% more on every England game this tournament with Bet Builder Extra, online or in the app. Only from William Hill. Available day before match to kick-off. Bet Builders and 3+ selections at 3-1 or more. Pre-match singles, match stake £20. Full T's and C's apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
Well, you can see why people are talking about Asda, can't you?
Of course, on paper, Asda have a great lineup with 2 for £7 on Coke 8 packs. Then there's pizza price drops, including the talented spicy chicken fajita flavour and classic 4-cheese deep dish. Worth £3 each, now £2 each.
And don't forget the dependable garlic flatbread was £1.80, now £1.50. What a lineup!
Get match ready at Asda this summer. Asda, that's more like it. Selected stores online subject to availability. Coke 330ml, £4.25 each. Pizzas and flatbread end 17th of July. May exclude express and small stores. See asda.com/small stores.
This Euros, The Sun is bringing you all the gossip, goals and giants of the game. Get insights and analysis from Harry, should have been England manager, Redknapp, Jack, the maestro, Wilshere, Gordon, no nonsense, Strachan, and Jurgen, the winner, Klinsmann. You won't want to miss it. Don't miss out, only in The Sun.
Let's go live to hear about that winning goal.
The crowd's gone absolutely wild here. How on earth do you sum up your emotions right now?
Amazing. A hat-trick is just the best feeling ever.
Is it though? Is kicking a ball into the back of the net really better than food fulfillment from Burger King? That warm, fuzzy feeling of total food satisfaction, like finishing the last bite of a Gourmet King's Barbecue Steakhouse Angus.
No.
Correct. Burger King. That's food fulfillment.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
On the beach, on the beach, on the beach. Booking geniuses. Choose from thousands of amazing all-inclusive holidays with On the Beach. Go all in on all-inclusive. Leave the bank cards at home, but not your trunks. On the Beach. Book like a genius. Holiday like a fool.
ATO protected.
On the beach.
Roll out of bed. Put the kettle on. Get into serious altercation with your 3-year-old. Try logical reasoning. Fail. Become the voice of Mr. Snuggles. Negotiate your way out of a tantrum and become the greatest parent of all time. For less.
Selected IKEA soft toys are now at a new lower price, along with thousands of other products. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
Here she is, the 3-time world champion. What has she got in store for us today? Things are starting to heat up. Here she goes.
Triple builders, double stir. I don't believe it. And a chocolate digestive to finish it off. A thing of beauty, you have to say. The judges are gonna love this one.
British Gas, powering home fans during this summer of sport.
Euro Game Day live on TalkSport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18+, always drink responsibly.
Soccer punch your summer.
UEFA Euro 2024, Germany.
And just how big could that goal be?
Euro Game Day live
on TalkSport.
Zeit für den Fußball.
We're getting ready for kick-off. It's just over 10 minutes away. Live on TalkSport, it's England against Serbia. The noise inside this stadium is something else, and it's going to ramp up when it gets going as well. Euro's now well underway. Holders Italy off and running with a win. Hosts Germany got off to a flyer. Spain looked quality, demolishing Croatia. The Dutch came from behind to win today. And in England's group, Denmark won, Slovenia won. Those performances and the big wins and results for some of those sides only add to the already immense pressure Gareth Southgate and England are dealing with as a nation awaits, a nation expects. Southgate, he literally laughed off a question about expectation yesterday in the press conference. I think after 8 years he gets the brief all right. Scotland are on the wrong end of that Germany thrashing. They need a win on Wednesday in Cologne as they take on Switzerland, who beat Hungary in their first game. That's live on TalkSport. Final group game for the Scots is in Stuttgart against Hungary a week tonight. We'll have that as well. We've got all 51 games from these Euros. England's remaining group games after this one here in Gelsenkirchen. Thursday afternoon in Frankfurt against Denmark, who they beat in the semi-finals of the last Euros at Wembley, of course. And then next Tuesday evening in Cologne against Slovenia. As I say, they're all live on TalkSport. Jeff Stelling and Gabby Agbonhor, they just did the previous show building up to this game. It sounded like great fun. Ollie Mers was there, right there as well. Sounded like brilliant fun. Fantastic duo, those two. They're both here in Gelsenkirchen. And Jeff and Gabby will be doing the breakfast show together tomorrow morning. Ashley Young was playing in the Premier League last season. He played under Gareth Southgate at the World Cup in 2018. He's on TalkSport's breakfast show tomorrow morning between 9 and 9:30. And then the man who led West Ham to a European trophy, David Moyes, is on breakfast from 9:30 till 10 UK time. Alan Pardew also on the breakfast show as well, Premier League manager. As the flags are unfurled, the flag with the European Championship trophy in the middle of the pitch, the colours of the tournament, the colours of the nations involved in the tournament surrounding that European Championship trophy flag. The Serbia flag in a triangle away to our left, and the St George Cross away to our right in front of the England fans as well. And the England St George flags, I mentioned them earlier. Opposite me there is a beautiful Arsenal flag with different Gunners' crests from their history in each corner. It's a really well made flag. Next to that, the Sheffield Wednesday flag, then a Manchester City flag. You got flags from Wolves, Coventry, Leeds, Derby, West Brom, all represented. To my right, loads more flags in the top tier and the bottom tier as well, of clubs that are represented: Wolves, Coventry, Leeds, Derby, West Brom, Palace, Port Vale, Preston, Middlesbrough, QPR. There's Premier League flags in there as well. Ipswich, yeah, they're Premier League. Forest and Spurs sandwiched between Barnsley and Farnborough. Could just see a big Birmingham City flag at the front as well. That's going to make Jude Bellingham happy. I have put pictures of the flags on social media. Just check out X at the Adrian Durham. You can see all of those, and check out all our social media platforms on TalkSport for some brilliant content from Germany. The video they've got of the fans singing the new Phil Foden song to the tune of Bruce Springsteen's Dancing in the Dark will wow you. That's going to stay in your head for a long time, and I'm hoping they get the chance to sing it tonight as well. Among the guests here at Gelsenkirchen tonight, the FA Chair Debbie Hewitt's here at the game. So is the former England manager, who Stuart Pearce worked with actually, Fabio Capello. He's here in his role as a UEFA technical advisor. But here in Gelsenkirchen, England have their demons from the past. We heard earlier how they went out on penalties in the quarterfinals of the World Cup back in 2006 in this stadium. And those who missed the penalties, by the way, Jamie Carragher with that twice taken one, and before him Steven Gerrard and Frank Lampard. Of all the players to miss their penalties, it was those two. Portugal missed a couple as well, but we just couldn't nail it yet again. Those demons have been exercised in big tournaments, beating Colombia on penalties in Moscow in 2018, and now we come to another big tournament. And for Gareth Southgate, it's been semi-final, final, quarter-final, and if it is to be his last tournament, will it be finally a win in a major tournament? We shall see. The players are in the tunnel here in Gelsenkirchen. Declan Rice takes a drink from a water bottle. He's in that leadership group, Declan Rice, very proud to be in the leadership group as well. He's not exactly old, but he does have a lot of experience and winning experience as well. He's won a lot of games with England. He's gone deep in tournaments with England. He's won a trophy at club level with West Ham United as well. As the noise just ramps up that little bit more, as the players start to make their way down the tunnel, they will appear on the green lush turf in Gelsenkirchen very, very shortly. The St George Cross flag is just to their right as they will make their way out, and that Serbia flag just to the left. It is a long old tunnel here as the officials make their way out, and behind them the players. Harry Kane, the captain, leading England. Jordan Pickford behind him, yet another game in a major tournament for him. Kieran Trippier, John Stones, Mark Gahey, his first ever tournament game, the Crystal Palace centre-half. Little injury at the end of the season, but what a brilliant season he had. Earned the right to be in this England squad, and he's earned the right to be in the England 11 tonight, Mark Gahey, as they all line up behind the flag that spells out Gelsenkirchen, the name of the town we're in this western part of Germany, the home of Schalke 04. As those nerves just ramp up a little bit as we're 5 minutes away from kickoff. Listen to the fans of both nations in this ground. No alcohol being served, it's a high-risk game. And we will observe the national anthems, starting with God Save the King. Well, they put the lyrics on the big screen, but you don't need them. Those players, every single one of them belted it out. And now the Serbian anthem, God of Justice. So win your next 7 games and you'll be European champion. Sounds simple, but somehow the Three Lions always find it impossible. Come on, England, let's get it done this time. Let's get the job done. Let's take the trophy home. It's England against Serbia, live on TalkSport from Gelsenkirchen with former England captain Stuart Pearce, alongside TalkSport's England commentator Jim Proudfoot.
Thank you, Adrian, and a very good evening to you, and welcome to the very start of this latest chapter. A clean page, another story to be written with its heroes yet to be cast. The much heralded latest instalment to a lengthy canon whose previous sequels have concluded without the happy ending. Illustrious tales that have been seared on the mind's eye as vivid now as they were then. And here we wait for those next crucial moments. Moments that will be talked about and relived forevermore. Earnestly hoping that these latest snapshot images of our tomorrows are etched in glory. And before a ball is kicked, the permission please to dream that this time it will be different, that the gut-wrenching near misses can be substituted with triumph, that nearly 6 decades of hurt will evaporate in one iconic instant. I know that was then, but it could be again. This is how England line up with 8 of the team that started the World Cup quarter-final. It's Pickford, Walker, Stones, who starts a 20th successive tournament game, Gahey, who makes his tournament debut, and Trippier, Rice and Alexander-Arnold, Saka, Bellingham, who becomes the first European player ever to feature at 3 major international tournaments before his 21st birthday, and Foden, with Harry Kane up front. For Serbia, Rajkovic plays in goal instead of Vanja Milinkovic-Savic. Milenkovic, Velkovic and Paulovic. Zivkovic, Lukic, Gudel and Kostic. Sergej Milinkovic-Savic and Vlahovic, with Alexander Mitrovic up front. The referee tonight, the Italian Daniele Orsato. England in all white and Serbia in all cherry red, and they will kick from left to right. England defending the end of the ground here at the Veldins Arena that houses the vast majority of the England support. Flags, as Adrian's been saying, all around, from clubs of all different shapes and sizes. Crystal Palace, and Wolves and Arsenal over on the far touchline, and I've spotted one for Thrapston, one as well for Fordingbridge Turks over on the top of the far stand. Every England fan hoping that this time it'll be different. The start of the latest journey, another month in which footballing immortality beckons, but for who? England embarking again on a well-trodden path hoping the familiar tale has an unfamiliar ending and that this is their time. The quest for European glory is underway. Let history unfold.
I think tonight will be a night for cool heads in the England ranks. I really do. It's important we do that, and I go back to Adrian's point about Bellingham. He's got to make sure he keeps a cool head. There's a lot of aggression between the two anthems, definitely, but why the game was being built into, and tonight the players have got to play with a real cool head about them.
So here is Jude Bellingham in possession for England and bringing the ball forward towards halfway. Man whose last appearance saw him win the Champions League. His 30th international appearance tonight. To his right-hand side for Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now work back for John Stones on the edge of the centre circle. Stones, his magnificent record, one of the very few in England history to start 20 successive games in international tournaments. Ball work now towards Bellingham on the England left, who'll work towards the edge of the penalty area. Apart from Mitrovic, everybody comes back for Serbia, not playing with too high a line at the moment. Here's Bukayo Saka on the corner of the box, on his left foot, then work back towards Kieran Trippier. Now towards John Stones again. Stones out towards the right-hand side of the England midfield. Phil Foden comes back to link up the play. Now back for Mark Gahey. England finding possession very easy to come by, but it's much closer to the centre circle than the edge of the Serbian penalty area at the moment. Alexander-Arnold playing it forward. Foden working it wide. Back out towards Bukayo Saka. England 15 yards outside the penalty area. Clever little back. He'll flick round the corner towards Foden, who's caught. England have still got the ball, so referee Osato says play on. Actually, a free kick might have done England a favour there. In an advanced position, they'll be forced to work it back. Trippier works it in, but it's whacked away to safety by Milinkovic-Savic, and England will pick it up again very deep.
You and I sat in the stadium watching Italy play in the first half yesterday, Jim. They passed the ball with great efficiency in that first half, 1 and 2 touch. But when they got it out wide to Chiesa, he went straight at the fullback, and I would advise Saka to do exactly that now. He's received the ball 2 times, played backwards. Kostic is there to be taken on. He's not a great defender. You can't let him off the hook.
Now he's got it again here, Bukayo Saka, and he was caught, and this time it will be a free kick. And he just showed a clean pair of heels to Milinkovic-Savic, who fouled him. And Trent Alexander-Arnold just tells his England teammates to calm things down. He's going to take charge of this free kick, which he motions to take quickly. Phil Foden making a darting run inside the penalty area. That was just a decoy. And England set up here with 2 lines of 3 around the edge of the penalty area. With 3 minutes in here in Gelsenkirchen, and it's still 0-0. All England in the early stages. Trent firing the ball inside the penalty area. A little bit too low and flat, it's clear. England pick up the seconds and go out towards Rice on the edge of the box. Rice back to Kyle Walker, the deepest of England's outfield players. From him to the right-hand side for Alexander-Arnold. He'll pick it up and go back for Kyle Walker. Walker's on the emergency exit of Jordan Pickford behind him. First set piece, not quite what it might have been. It is certainly going to be one of the key areas for both of these teams, because England, with the aerial prowess of Mitrovic and Pavlovic coming forward from the back, have to make sure they don't give too many free kicks away themselves.
Yeah, they certainly will. I think the way this game's developing will suit England. The Serbians dropping off, England having lion's share of possession and just easing their way into the first group game. But it's important that they do things with the ball. It's okay moving it, but when you expose people one-on-one, go and take them on.
They needed to play with that little bit of tempo, with the rotation and clever movement that the Italians showed last night. Is yet to really be forthcoming at any great degree of pace for England in these early stages. But possession's probably in the mid-70s. Bellingham has the ball right now. Just play it through the centre circle, where it's easily controlled by John Stones. Stones going out of the England right-hand side. Play back again towards Kyle Walker. And Serbia doing an awful lot of chasing at the moment. All those nights they're glad they're not getting paid by the touch. Foden with a clever layoff. Bellingham back in towards Foden, who couldn't take the ball on the turn. It's whacked away from him by Milinkovic. But it's been a really good purposeful start for England, albeit that they're yet to have a side of Rajkovic's goal.
Say some good purpose purposeful passes and one thing and another. On that occasion it was Walker playing a ball 60 yards to Trippier in behind the back line. I think he was just caught offside. It's really important we mix it up though, and I can't emphasise enough how our wide players and one-on-one scenarios have got to dip their bread when they get the opportunity.
Serbia in the last World Cup finished bottom of their group. They drew with Cameroon in a match in which they led 3-1. They also lost to Switzerland from a winning position and were beaten by the Brazilians as well. Lost a couple of friendlies this year, beaten by Russia and Austria. They've beaten Cyprus and Sweden very comfortably in their last game. They won 3-0. That was a result that spoke as much of Sweden's misfortune as much as Serbian strength per se. But they are ranked up around the top 20 in the world. They fire a ball inside the penalty area now, and it's headed away. Clearance from Kieran Trippier, not the best. Brought down by Živkovic. He'll play it back towards Veljkovic. Veljkovic inside his own half. Pavlovic just trying to invite the press really from Harry Kane, but Kane's paying lip service at working it back. Now Milenkovic has got it easily on the edge of his own penalty area. Now we're 0-0 with 6 minutes gone. Heavy rain earlier today. Massive difficulties getting to the ground for supporters coming out of town. It's a stadium that's not particularly well served by public transport. Plenty of those supporters getting a right drenching, but the game being played under blue skies on a unseasonably cool northwest German night. Kyle Walker's in possession, 7 minutes in. The official possession at the moment, incidentally, 77-23 in England's favour. Trippier just working it back for Mark Gahey. Everybody apart from Pickford is in the half of the field away to our left-hand side. Gahey taking a touch, getting it back from Foden. Foden not happy for a moment, just trying to get a message across to his teammates, but he's found a little bit of space if there's a switch. England haven't been able to switch the ball effectively in these early stages yet. Saka working it back, and again, just to illustrate Stuart's point, working it back rather than trying to take Kostic on. Stones, 15 yards inside the Serbian half, to his right-hand side for his club teammate Walker. Now he goes out towards Saka, who dropped the shoulder and tried to take Kostic on, and he came off Kostic, then back into Saka, and he goes out of play for a throw to Serbia. 0-0, you're in Talk Sport.
Yeah, probably the opportunity that he had no room to manoeuvre, and that was an opportunity to come backwards and feed back rather than take Kostic on. Just looking at Milenkovic, who's playing centre of the defence, we probably expected him to play on the right-hand side. He slipped into the centre of the three at the moment.
Yeah, Veljkovic and Milenkovic playing the other way round to how they normally do, which is an interesting tactical nuance, whether they're concerned about Phil Foden. So that's why Veljkovic has moved out there, and Milenkovic is dealing with the aerial prowess of Kane. Stones bring the ball forward for England. We're 8 minutes in. Earlier today, the Netherlands coming from behind to beat Poland 2-1. Another game in this group finishing 1 apiece between Denmark and Slovenia. Denmark, England's next opponents. And that's a game that you can hear 5 o'clock on Thursday. On TalkSport, we'll be in Frankfurt to talk you through the action. And with a bit of luck and following breeze, etc., etc., winning that might just about cement top spot in the group, but there's plenty of work to do yet. Here's Declan Rice over on the right-hand touchline for England. He's chested it down, it's just gone over the touchline and out of play for a throw that will be taken on the Serbian left-hand side. Solid but unspectacular opening 9 minutes for England.
Yeah, it is. As I say, we've had all the ball, we've settled into the game nicely. What I would say is I think we've let the Serbians off the hook a little bit. They've come into the game, they've sat back. When we've got the ball into those wide areas, we really have to go and take players on. Otherwise they'll grow into the game, and all of a sudden you'll find they get a foothold in the game where we don't deserve them to have one.
Now England getting between the lines for the first time. Bellingham doing well, good ball retention, and the referee waiting to see how that developed before giving a free kick against Sasha Lukic. And England have a free kick, but not quite in the shooting position, about 20 yards outside the penalty area. Up to about a minute or so ago, Serbia had had 1 pass in England's half. England had had 61 passes in Serbia, so we're still inside the opening 10 minutes. Kieran Trippier is going to take this free kick. It's in a central area, and as I mentioned, it's 37 yards from goal. He's just worked it square to his right-hand side. Kyle Walker, he's the man that can clip it in. Declan Rice coming round the back, but the referee has found against John Stones for a collision just on the edge of the box as he tried to wrestle his way past Mitrovic. Referee Orsato didn't like the way that he did it. Both players ended up on the deck, and it's a free kick to Serbia. 10 gone 0-0. Here's former England captain Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, I think the referee called that one right. He just blocked the run of the Serbian defender, and Declan Rice was the one who benefited from it in behind. But as you say, at the end of it, when we look back, we're going to look at how many shots are on target, how many times we've worked their goalkeeper, and more importantly, how many goals we've scored in the game.
Well, the answer to all of those at the moment is none. Because England, for all the possession that they've had, and it's an overwhelming advantage, they just got around the edge of the penalty area and no further. Walker playing it back for Alexander-Arnold. It's very much a back five that Serbia are fielding, not the three in an advanced position. It's as much of a low block as Serbia will ever give you. So England having to try and answer the questions successfully that they couldn't field with any degree of skill a week last Friday in that game against Iceland. Foden's got possession and finds Rice. Rice has got three in cherry red converging on him. He just plays the ball the way that he's facing, back towards Mark Gahey, out towards Trippier, and he's won a throw.
I'm just going to ask you a question here. Are the Serbs playing deeper than you felt they might?
Absolutely. 15 yards deeper than I thought they were going to.
Yeah, and I think it's probably a wise move from their coach, to be fair, to set them up this way.
Yeah, and have looked at the way that England played, with the struggles that they had against Iceland, and also with the way that Bosnia had limited success in the opening 35 minutes against England up in Newcastle. That's part of the fortnight ago. And they're going to try and frustrate England. They're going to be happy to cede possession. We've seen that. Walker, good ball round the back of Kostic. Saka getting towards the byline, works it inside the penalty area, and Jude Bellingham with a flying header has given England the lead. The young man who's had the season of his life converts England's first opportunity. What a start to Euro 2024. Jude Bellingham, 1-0 England.
Well, we talk about physical prowess prior to the game of the Serbs. If you're brave and you're prepared to put your head where the boots and heads are flying, you'll score goals. Jude Bellingham, brilliant ball. Declan Rice in behind the back line, I think it was. Saka, great run off the back of Kostic. We said that his defensive work isn't great, and Bellingham just flying in at full stretch. A brilliant finish. First time we've really asked questions of them, first time we've hit the back of their net.
The major strength of Serbia, particularly going forward, their aerial prowess, and England have done to Serbia what Gareth Southgate must have feared could potentially be done to England at the other end. It is a brilliant header from Jude Bellingham. It's only his fourth goal for his country, and one of the aspects that we've talked about at length is players making third man runs forward from midfield to supplement Harry Kane. First time that Bellingham does it, he scores, and with the first attempt of the night, England have the advantage.
I don't think I done Cole Walker credit there. I think it was Cole Walker's pass in behind Saka. Good run from Saka. Just dropped his shoulder, spun in behind Kostic, and he is a real weakness defensively. But if you don't ask the question, you don't get the answer.
Jude Bellingham scoring his 26th goal of the season for club and country. His fourth in 30 games for England. And Hey Jude rings around the Arena Al Shauka. Stones to Walker. Now towards the right-hand side of the England midfield again. Play back towards Trent Alexander-Arnold. Serbia are going to have to be a little bit more proactive now that they're behind. Milinkovic-Savic are getting it out towards Pavlovic. Now Pavlovic to the centre-half, Milenkovic. And out comes Rajkovic, the goalkeeper, who will clear from outside his penalty area. TalkSports England correspondent Faye Carruthers with us throughout the course of this tournament. Of course, Faye, you're very close to the goal. You would have had a magnificent view of that flying Jude Bellingham header that's given England the lead.
It was spectacular. His movement, the precision, and then the celebration afterwards was something to behold. Just one thing to let you know, Jim, a flying glass bottle of Jägermeister was thrown our way when that goal was scored, so we'll keep an eye on what the Serbian fans are doing as England press again.
Yes, the Serbian fans are right behind you. 15 minutes gone, England leading by a goal to nil. Jude Bellingham has scored in the opening goal of the World Cup against Iran, has scored the opening goal of many, we hope, on England's latest tournament journey. 1-0 they lead here on TalkSport. Walker in possession over on the England right, back through the midfield for Declan Rice. We have, of course, got every kick of every game throughout the course of the tournament. Tomorrow, 3 more matches. Romania against Ukraine gets the triple bill underway. It's over on TalkSport 2. It kicks off at 2 o'clock live from Munich. And then in Frankfurt, Belgium against Slovakia, the 5 o'clock game here on TalkSport. And just down the road from here in Dusseldorf, France taking on Austria at 8. Those 3 games, like every other in the 51, live on the TalkSport network for you. Phil Foden in possession, plays it back for Mark Gahey, and England with all the possession, and now with something to show for it.
I think it's really important. We've got our nose in front in the game. We've got a wonderful goal. It's important we get the balance right, Jim, between keeping possession of the ball and still trying to hurt the opposition and score a second goal and a third goal. At this moment in time, they're on the ropes and they've been shaken. Don't let them off the hook.
Rice getting it through the midfield, worked away, but straight back to him again. I think it's notable for all the possession that England have had that Harry Kane hasn't touched the ball at all in the opening 17 minutes. Well, here's a man who's come up with the most dominant touch of the night, Jude Bellingham, and he's fouled. And then there's an angry word in his direction from Zivkovic, the right wing back, who had a very prolific season in that position. 19 goals in Greek football this season for Pound. It's Walker playing it forward, but not to good effect this time. It's a killer pass for Saka's assist for the first goal, but he's given it away this time. Ball at the back with Milenkovic. Lukic coming that little bit deeper, wearing 22 to his right hand side. Just played down towards the centre half. Velkovic back for Milenkovic again. Pavlovic using the width on the left hand touchline. He's got a very good understanding with Kostic further forward down that left hand side. That tends to be where Serbia build their attacking moves from. And much more of the ball in the 5 minutes since England took the lead. Gahey's not well to step up from the defensive line and work it forward here. Bellingham, then Kane with a layoff. Bellingham and Kane both go down injured. Foden's got possession, works it to his right. Alexander-Arnold drags the shot from the edge of the penalty area. High tariff attempt, way across the face of goal and wide. And Bellingham complaining and telling the referee that he thinks he was elbowed there. And Kane's had a word with him on the way past because he wasn't happy with the challenge on him either.
Yeah. Bellingham's gone to ground slightly and he's just caught a rogue elbow. I'm going to give credit to the Serbian player that I don't think there was any intent there at all, but a good movement all the same by England and Phil Foden.
Vidal, Milenkovic coming out from the edge of their penalty area again. The Serbs coming into this on the back of 3 wins in their last 8 games. Not a good record in competitive internationals against sides ranked above them in the world. Kostic play the ball in towards Mitrovic. And they'll work it back towards Jordan Pickford. Pickford will play out calmly. Back towards Gahey. Now towards Stones. Stones getting it forward. The off-balance Kyle Walker couldn't keep that in. It wasn't a great ball to him from John Stones. And the two of them just look at each other. Question marks hanging in the ether over both of their furrowed brows. The play continues with the throw taken quickly by Serbia back towards Lukic. We're 19 minutes in here on TalkSport, and Jude Bellingham's flying header on 13 minutes remains the difference between the two sides here in Gelsenkirchen. Gahey's had a really good start to this game. Wins that one. It's ricochet back off Alexander-Arnold, though England have given it away, and Pickford diving at full stretch to his left is very grateful that that one has gone past his post. First sight of goal for Mitrovic after an England error, and he's missed the target.
Well, this goes back to my whole point. Serbia have done absolutely nothing in the game, and then a miscontrol from Trent Alexander. We opened the door for him, and he had dynamite in his boots then, but no accuracy, fortunately, for England. And you do know, when you've got an ascendancy in any game, you have to press it home, because if you don't, you know full well that Serbia will have a moment in the game.
Well, he scored against Cameroon and Switzerland in the last World Cup, Alexander Mitrovic, who's coming into this having netted in each of his last 2 tournament games. Saka now is brought to the ground. This is about 12 yards outside the penalty area. Now Pavlovic with his arms all around him. Pavlovic put his hands up to protest his innocence, but the referee's still giving the free kick. Rajkovic lining up. Just a one-man wall. He just wants one man in the way because he's sensing that this is going to be a ball teased inside the penalty area here rather than a direct shot from Trent Alexander-Arnold. So England have got Bellingham coming back at the moment past the penalty spot towards the edge of the penalty area. Gahey stands at the far post. Stones is there a little bit deeper, hands on hips. Rice and Kane both in that kind of area as well. Chance for Alexander-Arnold to tease it in. Declan Rice, it's hit him really and got wide. Just looked as though he took his eye off it.
I don't understand what he's done there, to be fair. He's jogging back with a rueful smile on his face. 2 Serbian defenders went up with Harry Kane for the ball. It went past him and literally hit Declan on the shoulder and wide. Great opportunity.
It just looked as though he wasn't expecting it to get his far, and he turned away, almost taking evasive action, and it's just flicked off his right shoulder. Lukic back towards the edge of his own penalty area. Serbia will play out from the back. Rajkovic, the goalkeeper, on the edge of the 6-yard box. The man who plays his club football in Spain for Real Mallorca. Ball forward towards halfway, but Kieran Trippier has won it. Another player with so much experience of playing in La Liga before coming back home. Vlahovic trying to work it forward, cut out though by Walker easily at the back. 10 yards outside his own penalty area. Turning it back for Jordan Pickford, who takes a touch, works it forward with his left foot, over halfway, and over the head of Jude Bellingham as well. Kane chasing the seconds, but didn't get there. Zivkovic will pick it up on the right-hand touchline, the right wing-back for Serbia. Play back towards the edge of his own penalty area where it's mopped up effectively by Milenkovic. He goes back to his goalkeeper, and Kane again just paying lip service and putting a press on, no more than that. Rice losing out in the midfield. And all of a sudden it's dangerous. 4 against 5. Serbia bringing it forward. Vlahovic, shot blocked by Gahey, ricocheting out towards the right-hand side of the England midfield, and Saka with good footwork works it back through the midfield area for Foden. Now England, if they can switch it quickly, might be able to break. Milenkovic-Savic really dived in. Foden had played the pass. There's no contact made, but just seeing Milenkovic-Savic out the corner of his eye forced the error, and a poor pass from Foden, and a good opportunity came to nothing.
I've got a big concern, Jim. The game's been so comfortable for us and our players, it worries me that we get blasé to the game in many ways, and we've had a couple of instances there. Mitrovic's shot earlier, the break just then from the Serbians, and we've got to make sure we press home our advantage.
Something that we've talked about in the past is paying reference to Jude Bellingham and Red missed, and clearly fired up, scored the goal, but just got involved there with Filip Kostic when there didn't appear to be any need to, and he, not with a great degree of force, but he rammed his left shoulder into the solar plexus of Kostic, and there were angry words between the two. I think that was a hangover from a couple of previous incidents. Bellingham has been victim of a couple of pretty heavy challenges, but he's just got to make sure that he keeps a lid on his emotions. Very easy for me to say, of course. He's got it again now. Milenkovic-Savic has beaten him. Bellingham coming back, a very well-timed challenge. Trippier trying to make another. Vlahovic comes away with the ball, squeezing it through the midfield. Alexander-Arnold did well, saw where it was going, slid in and won it. Saka out towards the right-hand side of the penalty area. Big chance for England, tapped across the face of the 6-yard box. Kane didn't gamble and couldn't tap it in. Brilliant work from Kyle Walker, but it comes to nothing.
Fantastic counter-attack there. That's the counter-attack threat you've talked to me about all week. And when we went, my goodness me, we looked effective. First time we've really gone for the heart of them and looked so effective doing it. Do it again, gentlemen.
And they've had to change the game plan, of course, because they're 1-0 down, but I'm surprised that they've changed it as early as they have. Ordinarily, you would expect with the way that Serbia were able to frustrate England and not allow them any opportunities that they might have sat in a little bit longer, but they already have come up to the kind of height on the pitch that we were expecting with their back line, and we've seen there that England have the wherewithal to be able to capitalise upon it when they can turn over possession in the midfield. Trent did it brilliantly there, but we couldn't make the most of the chance. 25 minutes gone. It's 1-0 to England here on TalkSport. Jude Bellingham's 13th minute goal. Not too many opportunities to add to it since then. Just one further attempt and a couple of attempts from the Serbian players which have not resulted in Jordan Pickford having to make a save as yet. You would TalkSport.
Yeah, as I say, comfortable within the game. With a fantastic start for England, 1-0 up on 25 minutes. Would like to have seen us threaten the opposition's goal a little bit more. It is available to do so. We've just got to take it.
Mitrovic, down to Veljkovic. Sasha Lukic coming through. Long, high switch of play out towards the far touchline. And a little cushion header from Kyle Walker gets it back for Jordan Pickford. Pickford, who started England's last 20 games now at major tournaments. He's tied Peter Shilton for 20 appearances at major tournaments as an England goalkeeper. Harry Kane making his 23rd appearance at a major tournament tonight, and that is an all-time England record that he has claimed tonight. He was a part of a three-way tie prior to this evening. Ball played in his direction now. He just tried to roll Milenkovic. And referee Orsado said he did so by foul means rather than fair. He just had his left arm around the midriff of Milenkovic, all into the ground. Free kick that Serbia take inside their own half. Kane's goal-scoring record in major tournaments, 12 in 22 coming into tonight, part of the 63 international goals that he scored. He's played an identical number of internationals to Mitrovic, who's only scored 5 goals fewer, which gives you an idea of just how potent he has been in his international career as well. Ball is on the right-hand side for the Serbs, right in front of us. We're about 15 yards inside the half that England are defending in this first half. Haven't had too much defending to do so far. A lot of England's attacking play coming down the right, as we perhaps anticipated, with Foden playing a slightly narrower role on the left. Declan Rice has got the ball. Walsh's round one challenge brilliantly finds Trippier. Trippier infield for Bellingham. Bellingham immediately sensing who was where and what was around him, could take a touch with his left foot and working with his right through the midfield to Walker. And Alexander-Arnold now finds Rice, and Rice exchanges passes quickly with Foden, and now will bring the ball out of the centre circle. You would TalkSport, England leading 1-0 here in northwest Germany, and a reminder that next up for England is Denmark on Thursday. Tea time game, that one, 5 o'clock, and if you can get out of work early, take us with you on your way home as you listen to the game live from Frankfurt. Ball out towards Saka. Stewart to my right, urging Saka to make the run round the back of Kostic. He's been playing in again. Little ricochet back Saka's way, trying to knock it down on the edge of the area. Finds Bellingham after a fashion. England pick it up, and a challenge on Alexander-Arnold has given England a free kick in a really good position here. It's Goodell who just mistimed it. Alexander-Arnold's first touch too good for him, and he got it away from Goodell, who slid in. Contact actually pretty minimal, but enough to give England a free kick.
Yeah, free kick in a good position, and once again I was berating Saka for not turning and attacking Kostic on that occasion. Credit to him, dropped the ball off, spun him behind, got him behind. He causes absolute panic running at people, and I'm going to say it, and I'm going to make this statement as early as possible. We talked about early substitutions leading into it on the shows we've had. I'll tell you what I would do. I'd bring Eze on now to go and attack instead of Foden. You ask me for my opinion, I'll give you an opinion, and I'll give you a solution on 29 minutes.
Yeah, I'm going to come back to that and revisit that thought in a moment, Stu. First of all, this free kick, which Alexander-Arnold is spotting down. There's a line of foam on the floor. Trippier not happy with the positioning of the wall, although it looks 10 yards to me. It's right of centre, but not by much. So it's an angle that means that there's an element of doubt in Rajkovic's mind which way this is going to go, whether it's going to be a right footer or a left footer that's going to strike it. Foden stands over it, but he's only feigning interest, really. Trippier's come away from it, man who has scored a free kick in a World Cup semi-final. Trent's looking favourite, hits it right-footed straight into a 5-man wall. Not the best free kick. And the clearance that followed it, even worse. Vlahovic able to get it away about 5 yards. Trippier picks that up and goes back for Jordan Pickford, and he clears it left-footed, looking long over the top. And it was a good run made forward by Phil Foden. Rice will pick it up, it bounces in midfield, and then Bellingham, what a pass that is, drilled a sidewinder straight out towards the right-hand side for Walker.
There's no doubt that Bellingham's got his towel up now. He's got the goal, and what a goal it was. The bravery of it. He wants on the ball. He wants to spray the ball around, and if I was a teammate, I'd give him the ball and encourage him.
Saka takes on Kostic, gets to the byline, chips it inside the penalty area, hits the defender's head and goes out towards the edge of the box, and England will clear. Picked up again by Gahey, who's done really well in the opening half hour. Clipped in by Bellingham. Saka going up for it. It's headed away by Pavlovic. Comes outside the penalty area again to Declan Rice. 20 yards outside the box. Played half an hour here on TalkSport. England are leading 1-0 with really good value for it as well. Jude Bellingham with the goal. Alexander-Arnold back towards Rice. To Alexander-Arnold again. And he's just been able to work it past Mitrovic. It was a close run thing. He did find Stones, but only just. Walker down the right-hand side. Saka taking on Pavlovic as he shoved him to the ground. Assistant referee over on the far touchline is flagged the other way, and it's going to be a Serbian ball. So let's go back to what you were talking about substitutions. You were talking about to frame this conversation, the next big development really in tactical development within the game is the use of substitutions, and they might get earlier and earlier. So you would make a change now from what you've seen to bring Eza on for focus. Explain why and why you do that.
On what I'm seeing at the moment, I'm seeing an England team attacking solely down the right-hand side. There is no attack down the left-hand side whatsoever. Trips obviously being a right-footed left-back, he's not offering anything in the advanced areas. Phil Foden's tucking in and being a sort of utility player almost. I would love to see us having a joint attack on either side, and I think the way they've set up Serbia, they're almost lying down and saying, please don't hurt us that much while you're on the ascendancy. And we've only got Saka that has got the ability to go and attack someone as an out-and-out winger. I would like to see another one on this side.
Milenkovic finds Milenkovic-Savic in the midfield. The ball goes out towards the far touchline again over on the Serbian left. We'll check in with our England correspondent Faker Others again shortly. Serbia bring the ball forward and play down towards Zivkovic. He's midway inside the England half. Better, more sustained possession for the Serbs in England territory just for a moment. Lukic to Mitrovic, has dropped deep into a pocket in order to pick it up. First chance for Zivkovic really to take it on. It's a decent ball inside the penalty area. Well headed away by Gahey. Standout England defender so far. Cleared out towards Bellingham. Bellingham towards Foden. Foden helping it on. Kane didn't get there. And it's mopped up in the midfield by Milenkovic again for Serbia. And that was the first real chance that they got to get the ball out wide and fire inside the penalty area. That is their modus operandi, and it was a good defensive header away by Mark Gahey that stopped it being an effective cross.
Yes, and you know and I know when that ball was pulled back onto the left and whipped in there, your heart's in your mouth because you know it's such a good opportunity for them to be effective.
Ball inside the centre circle with Milenkovic. And Milenkovic is inside the centre circle now. And we'll be able to work it forward towards Sasha Lukic. Lukic turning, getting the ball out to the left-hand side. Pavlovic can bring it forward. First time that he's really been able to work it to the left-hand side of the penalty area in conjunction with Kostic. Now a left-footed ball inside the box. Bellingham is back there to be able to sweep it away. Now let's catch up with our England correspondent Faker Others down behind that goal away to our left-hand side. Faye, you've got a closer view of Harry Kane than we have. What have you made of his performance and movement inside the opening 35 minutes?
He's getting into the right pockets. He's demanding balls to his feet. He's just not necessarily getting them. I don't think there's anything awkward with the way he's moving in any way, shape or form. He's just not quite getting the service that he's looking for.
Faye, thank you. Serbia bring the ball forward towards halfway. Now venture into England territory. Just having a little bit of a collective breather over the last couple of minutes or so. Bellingham putting the pressure on Goodell. Absolutely crucial that they were able to get the Sevilla man fit. He's won a couple of Europa Leagues in his time with the club. Came on against Sweden last weekend on the left-hand side of central midfield, which is pretty much the role that he's playing in tonight. Just fits around and gravitates with Lukic, but he can also play at centre half. England bring the ball forward. Gahey, first error that we've seen from him, stepping up for the defensive line, overcommitted for a moment, and might just have hurt himself. He's okay, he's looking fit to continue, but just a little twinge there, I think, as he got the ball away and gave it away. Alexander-Arnold did well, dropped him behind though, and now he can pick up possession, and his crossfield ball was loose. And probably the last minute or so has been England's most ragged of the game, but they're well on top here, leading 1-0.
I don't know whether I'm being over-conservative here with this statement, but I see a little bit of apathy in our out-of-possession work, and we can't afford to be. We've got to be good and forthright in our attacking play, but out of possession we've got to be around them, rat around them, and make sure that ball doesn't come in our box.
So how's that manifesting itself? Just that there isn't the unanimity in the press, that there isn't the real intensity in it?
In the main, yeah. I think our players getting a mentality of, this game's very easy, we'll keep passing it, and when we haven't got the ball, someone will get it back. Well, that someone has to be you, because your life becomes a lot harder if you let them get on the ball.
As England legend Stuart Pearce giving you his thoughts here on TalkSport as Zivkovic brings the ball forward. Now Vlahovic, and Bellingham again is back. He's everywhere, including on the score sheet. And he just nicked it away from Vlahovic. And now he will be able to bring the ball forward inside the centre circle. The ball out towards Saka is always on. Bellingham caught off the ball there, lies down inside the centre circle. Now he'll take on Pavlovic, and he's beaten him. Saka inside the penalty area, in behind Harry Kane. Foden coming to meet it as well. Neither could get the touch, and Serbia will clear.
See, the England players shouldn't even look. That ball should be going out to Saka, and Saka, he's dropped his shoulder and walked past Pavlovic as though he was stood still towing a fridge, the fella. I mean, literally, you cannot let them off the hook, and that's why I'd like to see someone on the left-hand side that can do the same as Saka.
Moments when he's looked like he's being sponsored by Electrolux tonight. He's got the ball in the midfield. Lukic down towards the far touchline. What he can do though, whilst it's easy to turn him, and we've seen that, he's really good at being able to build the play, come out from the back, very confident centre half with the ball at his feet. Srđan Pavlovic, who plays his club football in Austria, scored in the recent friendly against the Austrians. Zivkovic picking it up on the right hand touchline. Just working back through the midfield again. Lukic, Gudelj. England just a little bit tardy in stopping the ball out towards the left-hand side. Kostic can fire it in. And too hot for Vlahovic. Right back with a defensive header. Serbia in their best period of the game today. Zivkovic taking on his man. Beat Trippier, but the cross is going to be easily knocked away by Declan Rice. Rice coming forward. Ball back inside his own half from Foden towards the edge of his own penalty area, picked up by Bellingham. It's a proper 9 out of 10 performance from Jude tonight so far. He'll drive forward through the midfield there and get caught by Gudelj, who's going to pick up a yellow card, I think, the first of the game here for the Serbian central midfield.
Yeah, Gudelj, he's gone in for the challenge there, and I think he's been cute, stayed on the floor as well, hoping to avoid a yellow. I don't think he is. The referee's waiting for him to get up to administer it.
First yellow card, and Jude Bellingham has been a marked man. He clearly needed the break you found after the Champions League final, and looks refreshed for having had a fortnight off, and the success that he's had with the league and Champions League double this season for Real Madrid. But he's really led by example tonight. Still a couple of weeks short of his 21st birthday. It's extraordinary.
He certainly has, and you can see that arrogance oozing into him as soon as the diving header put the ball in the back of the net. His body language says, give me the ball, I'm the best talent on show on this pitch, in the right way.
Are you concerned by the lack of impact that Harry Kane has had so far? Just one touch so far, and that was 20 minutes ago.
I'm more concerned about the lack of impact that Phil Foden's had, if I'm being honest with you. I think Phil's knitted it together, passed it backwards, passed it sideways, but we need someone in his position to take players on and go past them. Harry Kane's not that person.
Well, the rain beginning to fall here again, angry black clouds overhead. Here in Gelsenkirchen, the roof is open. but that means that those down at pitch level are having another soaking. Rice down towards Foden. Foden a couple of yards in Serbian territory. In towards Jude Bellingham. Good quick feet from him, but converging on it from both sides. They won it cleanly. Lukic getting it back towards Milankovic. And play by Veljkovic back inside his own penalty area for Rajkovic. And Rajkovic just taps the ball out of his penalty area and out of play because Kostic has gone down with an injury. And the way that he sat down with the frustration etched across his face suggests that might be a bad one. It's his left leg. And the Serbian medical staff are coming on now to attend him.
I think technically it's called a Saka muscle, that one, you know. He's had enough of Saka already and thought this could be a long night for me. I want to play in the opposition's half, and all I've had to do was play in my own half at present.
Jude Bellingham just coming across the Gareth Southgate now, and the manager having a few words with him. What do you think the gist of that message is going to be just down on this near touchline whilst this break in play is being made?
I think more so, keep moving the ball quickly, don't get blasé in the game. We've also got, this is what I would say, there is another side of the game, the out of possession, that we've got to be very good at as well. We get that right, we'll win the game by more goals. And this second goal is vitally important to us. If we can get it before half time, the second half becomes very comfortable. The difference between quality between both sides is enormous. The only thing that might close that gap, Jim, is ourselves. We might shoot ourselves in the foot by getting blasé.
Well, Kostic is still down, receiving treatment over towards the far touchline. Let's go back pitch side again to Faye Carruthers in the rain. Faye?
Yeah, I'm getting nice and wet down here at the moment. Just watching Harry Kane and Bukayo Saka, the only two players that didn't go over for any kind of instructions from the bench there or to take on any fluids just as the referee is about to get things underway. Again, Bukayo Saka has the ball under his arm.
Can we just touch on Gahey while we got this moment in the break? He's done very well in the game, hasn't he? He's cut things out, he's got that little bit of pace, reads the game. There's no panic when he's faced one-on-one. That's what I like about this kid.
Absolutely, and it is worth just reiterating as play restarts with England restoring possession to the Serbian goalkeeper Rajkovic. Mark Gahey, the only player in the starting lineup tonight who's never played in a major tournament game before. The most inexperienced at international level by some distance of these England players. It's his 12th appearance for his country tonight, but he's had a really solid start. I don't think we're going to be seeing Kostic again. The Serbs are getting a substitute ready. And England have possession over on the far touchline there, right, and pinging the passes together. Slam forward right-footed, and the referee has spotted an infringement. What's he seen there?
John Stones has kicked the ball away when it's gone out of play, and basically he's fortunate not to take a booking, I think, Jim. Referee's just warned him on that occasion.
So Serbia will make the change. Kostic unable to continue, and he's going to be replaced by Mladenovic, who's a left wing back, plays his club football for Panathinaikos. So it's a straight swap. He didn't start one game of the World Cup, the defeat of Brazil. And he comes on for his 32nd cap. Kostic, one of the most dangerous of the Serbian players, off injured. Mladenovic on to replace him. And in possession straight away, the substitute wearing 25. Just works it with his left foot back towards the halfway line. 90 seconds to go. And probably a couple of minutes to be added on at the end of the first half. England lead with Jude Bellingham's flying header half an hour ago. 1-0 to England. It's comfortable, but you feel that England need a second goal. They just need that little bit of insurance at the moment. Ball is with Milankovic. They'll get in and work it back to his goalkeeper, Predrag Rajkovic, who's a non-playing member of their World Cup squad. And he drives it forward, right-footed over halfway. Mitrovic controls it, back to the direction of play. As he brought it down from his chest, Rice nicked it away from him. The ball's worked back for Pickford, whose first touch was a little bit awkward, but he gets it effectively out towards the right-hand touchline for Saka, and Saka's done well. Good ball retention from him. Working back for Walker to Stones, and Stones will clear right-footed towards halfway, but Dan's there to win it back. And get the seconds and go back to his goalkeeper, Rajkovic. England with the overwhelming majority of possession, but Serbia have had much more of the ball in the last 10 minutes than at any previous stage of the game. I think Gareth Southgate, with the way that the last 10 minutes go, I'll be quite pleased to get England in, actually, just to reiterate a couple of important messages and press the reset button. Still, Jordan Pickford hasn't had a shot on target to face. Duel, the one player that's been booked so far. Good turn from here. 1-2 with Milenkovic-Savic. Out towards the left-hand side from Mitrovic. Mladenovic, the recently arrived substitute, back in towards Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, who made his name with more than 300 appearances for Lazio. Into those 2 extra minutes at the end of this first half here on TalkSport. And it remains 1-0 to England. Ball chipped over the top. Vlahovic would have been offside if he'd gone for it. He wouldn't have got to him anyway. And it goes out of play for a goal kick that will be taken by England away to our right. First half stoppage time, Serbia 0, England 1. Stu?
Yeah, as I say, it's been a reasonable performance, I would say. I'm always looking 2, 3, 4 games down the line, Jim, and I'm thinking, where are the warning signs in this performance that might cause us a problem further down the line? For me, a little bit, like to see more punch on the left without a doubt. Would like to see us a bit more aggressive out of possession as well. Too many times I see 3 or 4 players wrong side of the ball, and that's dangerous against good sides.
Serbia, after an advantage play by the referee, bring it through the midfield before they're stopped by Alexander-Arnold. Free kick given and taken quickly into the feet of Mitrovic. And it has been a decent England performance, but if you're always looking for ways to improve, the one concern for Gareth might be that these are the same ways to improve that have been detailed in previous games. More defending for England to do before the break. Serbia look to draw themselves to parity again. Živkovic, 5 yards in for the right-hand touchline. Little collision inside the penalty area. Shift inside the box, flying header, and then it hits Stones on the knee and goes out of play for a corner. First corner of the night. Barely time to take it, but it's been won by the Serbians on the left-hand side, and that all came about in a panic-stricken England penalty area because they allowed the cross to come in.
Exactly, that little blaseness, allowing players too much room to get turned, get their head up, pop the ball in the box.
First Serbian corner of the night. Mladenovic is going to take it. It's a left-footed away swinger in towards the near post. It wasn't a good delivery. Jude Bellingham was there, scoops it clear. Back it comes in though for Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. He comes outside the penalty area towards the far touchline. Can't get the crossing before the whistle is blown. And England's first 45 minutes of the Euros have been very successful. Jude Bellingham with the goal. England's first attempt coming 13 minutes in. A brilliant flying header after great play, firstly from Kyle Walker and then from Bukayo Saka. But if you're being critical, England went off the boil in the last 10 minutes and need to reset off the ball. England 1, Serbia 0 at half-time.
Well, we'll take it, but there's a lot to analyse from that first half performance. And what a first half performance from Jude Bellingham as well. Let's take a look at the half-time highlights with Carly.
Half-time highlights on TalkSport with Carly, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
Well, let's start with the positives. Stuart Pearce, we are leading by a goal to 0, and Jude Bellingham has got that goal. He's had a lot of touches of the ball. He's been really involved. Little moment where he could have seen the red mist but didn't. Jim detailed that in the commentary excellently. He's been targeted as well. He's been fouled twice as many times as any other player on the pitch. That's going to happen. He's got to deal with it. But what a performance from the young man, and what a goal as well.
He's gone into the game with confidence. When he scores his goal, the confidence goes through the roof. He's got brilliant arrogance on a football pitch. I've got to say, the bravery of the goal as well, something that maybe he's renowned for, maybe he isn't, I don't know. He's gone full stretch. I think he's second favourite to get on the end of that. You know, you could split your head open with that. He's gone in, irrelevant to that, and put the ball in the back of the net. Fantastic from his point of view. Like to see us with more tempo to our attacking play. I'd like to see us more balance on the left-hand side with our attacking play. Now, I've outlined the substitution that I would make, and probably would have made it on 29 minutes on what I've seen, if we're really going to go after teams.
A lot of people might have been listening to that shocked at what you said. and possibly thinking, well, what would that do to Phil Foden if you dragged him after 28, 29 minutes and said to him, no, I prefer Eberechi Chiesa to have a go at that wing back on that left-hand side. So, I mean, how would you, if you're a coach, substitute a player of Phil Foden's quality? Let's remember he's the Premier League Player of the Year as well. How do you do that and keep him happy?
Well, I think, and I'm judging our first 45 minutes, not just on 45 minutes first game of the tournament, let's build up to it. I'm judging it on all the tournaments that have gone before and how we fell short on those performances and what it's going to take to win 7 games, if it is, to go and win the final. And to do that, I'm looking at this, and this particular game needs someone on the left-hand side to offer us threat as well. They've looked so poor defensively when we've asked questions, running with the ball and running without the ball. I think we've done it too rarely. That would be my opinion, Jim.
Well, if the players were told in meetings leading up to the tournament, look, this is something I'm going to do, it's in my mind, I might make changes, it's nothing personal, but don't feel that there is a stigma attached to being hooked after 30 minutes because it's purely tactical and it's in my mind to do it. I think the players would buy into it, providing that conversation had been had. I mean, it looks bad, but then it would get explained by Gareth post-match that it's something, and then I think everybody would be happy with it. But if you can improve a performance by doing it, why wouldn't you do it?
I think there's a game here to be won 3 or 4-0. That's my opinion on what I've seen. If we do the things that I think we can do and do them better. The other side of that, the flip side of that, is if we get really confident in look at us, we can pass it around and we don't get under pressure. They'll toss the ball in the box now and then, and it could become 1-1. And then all of a sudden, from a performance that should be a 3 or 4-0, we come away from it scratching our heads.
And one very quick stat to illustrate that, Aid. After 11 minutes of this game, England had 100 more passes than Serbia. We get to half-time, they've only had 63 more. So that shows that over the last 35 minutes of action, the Serbs have had more possession and more passes than England have had. That's a concern.
So we need to grab hold of that emphasis again second half. And let's have a look at what Saka did on that right-hand side, because there was more than one occasion he's created the goal on the right-hand side. Beautifully cute pass from Kyle Walker to let Saka in, and Saka then puts in the cross. Jude Bellingham, as you say, brave header. There were a couple more occasions. Kyle Walker with a break, ball didn't came across but didn't fall for Foden or for Kane, who were in the box. Haven't quite got that final ball right, otherwise England could be 2-3-0 up, Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, they certainly could. As I say, Saka's been the one that looks to cut them open. He is that natural, more of a winger type player, has the ability to go past people. I would encourage him a lot more. If I was the full-back playing behind him, you shove the ball into his feet and say, oi, by the way, I don't want it back. Go and take him on. And he's got the ability to run with the ball and go past people. More importantly, he's got the ability to go without the ball, which he showed brilliantly.
Saka, 27 goal contributions in 24 starts for England. That's an extra special record, needs to do that. And what is wrong with Phil Foden? Why isn't he trying to do that? He's not really that sort of run at a defender winger, is he?
No, this is my point. I've not got a downer on Phil Foden. There's nothing wrong with Phil Foden. Phil Foden's playing Phil Foden's game. I don't think this game and the opposition need a Phil Foden today. I think we need a winger on both sides of the pitch that's going to receive the ball and go past them. From what I saw from Eza last week, he is very impressive. He's got his tail up, and he is that type of person to put the opposition on the back foot. You put them on the back foot, you drive them backwards, they can't put the ball in your box, and that's a concern.
Quick word on Trent, because a mistake from him led to what I think was Serbia's best chance. Mitrovic with a fierce snapshot that went wide of Jordan Pickford's left-hand post. Trent was receiving the ball in midfield, but his body shape wasn't right. It wasn't on the half turn at all. Didn't control the football. Is that us looking at a player who's in midfield? Doesn't normally start in midfield for Liverpool. It's less than a handful of times he's started in midfield for Liverpool. So we're looking at somebody there who just needs to brush up, work on things a little bit, and certainly not receive the ball in the way he did then.
Yeah, it was just a miscontrol on that occasion. But what I would say to you this, Aid, is How many times have you seen him sprayed a 50, 60 yard defence splitting ball in this first half? It's not been one of those games for that. You know, we've put him in the team to do it. The way the game pans out, it's not developed like that. This is a game, opposition playing narrow, slide the ball out to two attacking-minded wide players and encourage them from behind. If they get in trouble and run aground, you're always there and available for them. If not, that is the ball that he's got to play tonight. You can't come away from the game this first 45 minutes and say, well, Trent hasn't played the killer pass 5, 6, 7 times. It's just not a game for that at the moment.
England lead. That was the half-time highlights thanks to Carlin. 18 plus. Please drink responsibly.
Half-time highlights on TalkSport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
England 1-0 up, could be more. Can they build it in the second half? Live on TalkSport, Jude Bellingham with a brave header. He's the man who's got the goal, and England are in front in these Euros.
Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
This tournament, prepare for greatness with William Hill. Get ready for last-minute winners, legendary goals, and straight red cards. Oh, what was he thinking? Win 25% more on every single game this tournament with Bet Builder Extra, online or in the app. Only from William Hill. Available day before match to kick-off. Bet Builders are 3+ selections at 3-1 or more. Pre-match singles, match stake £20. Full T's and C's apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Here she is, the 3-time world champion. What has she got in store for us today? Things are starting to heat up. Here she goes.
Triple builders, double stir. I don't believe it. And a chocolate digestive to finish it off. A thing of beauty. You have to say, the judges are gonna love this one.
British Gas, powering home fans during this summer of sport.
Let's go live to hear about that winning goal.
The crowd's gone absolutely wild here. How on earth do you sum up your emotions right now?
Amazing. A hat-trick is just the best feeling ever.
Is it though? Is kicking a ball into the back of the net really better than food fulfillment from Burger King? That warm, fuzzy feeling of total food satisfaction, like finishing the last bite of a Gourmet King's Barbecue Steakhouse Angus.
No.
Correct. Burger King. That's food fulfillment.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
On the beach, on the beach, on the beach.
Booking geniuses, save your summer. Get a wiggle on and book yourself a bargain with On the Beach. Big budget or small, we've got a mega holiday for all. Should have been a rapper. On the Beach. Book like a genius, holiday like a fool.
At all protected.
On the beach.
Settle down for a night of crime. Witness a heist. Follow a car chase. Eat too much popcorn. Meet a mafia boss. Join in on a bank robbery. Think about making a cup of tea. Be too comfortable to get up. For less.
Selected IKEA sofas are now at a new lower price, along with thousands of other products. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
Well, you can see why people are talking about Asda, can't you?
Of course, on paper, Asda have a great lineup with 24 packs of Budweiser, just £14. Then there's pizza price drops, including the talented spicy chicken fajita flavour. Was £3, now £2.
And don't forget the dependable garlic flatbread was £1.80, now £1.50. Could be the difference maker. What a lineup!
Get match ready at Asda this summer. Asda, that's more like it. Selected stores online subject to availability. Budweiser 300ml, price not available in Wales and Scotland. May exclude Express in small stores. See asda.com/small stores.
This Euros, The Sun is bringing you all the gossip, goals and giants of the game. Get insights and analysis from Harry, should have been England manager, Redknapp, Jack, the maestro, Wilshere, Gordon, no nonsense, Strachan, and Jurgen, the winner, Klinsmann. You won't want to miss it. Don't miss out, only in The Sun.
Euro Game Day Live, delivered by TalkSport with Burger King. What's better than a last-minute winner? A crispy chicken royale delivered straight to your door.
On 1089 and 1053 medium wave, on DAB, online and on your smart speaker.
Official broadcaster of UEFA Euro 2024, Germany.
TalkSport.
This is TalkSport live at England's opening game of Euro 2024. They lead Serbia by a 1-0. Let's look at the latest, all thanks to William Hill.
In the Zone on TalkSport with William Hill. Prepare for greatness with William Hill. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
So it's 1-0 to England, and England are 5-1 on to win. Serbia 16-1. The draw is 9-2. Harry Kane to score the second goal of the game is 11-2. That was a look at the latest odds thanks to William Hill. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
In the Zone on TalkSport with William Hill. Prepare for greatness with William Hill. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Let's get the very latest on the US Open golf. Here's TalkSport's Rupert Bell.
Well, Bryson DeChambeau started this final round 3 shots clear, but he scrambled his way to drop one drop shot at the fourth, and he is at 6 under, and that lead is now down to just 2. Rory McIlroy opened up with a birdie at the first, but since then he's lost a bit of his sparkle, and he is currently level par for his round. He dropped a shot at the par 5 fifth hole, an ugly miss coming off the green, and he couldn't get up and down. So he is at 4 under along with Patrick Cantlay, and Matthew Pavon is back at 3 under. But Bryson DeChambeau, as they approach the halfway stage of the final round, leads by 2 at 6 under par.
And we'll keep you updated with that here on TalkSport. But in Gelsenkirchen, England lead by a 1-0 now. I want to be giving my marks out of 10 for each of the England players tonight and after every England game as well. Now, you may know the French sports paper L'Equipe is particularly miserly with its marks out of 10. I'm TalkSport's version of L'Equipe when it comes to marks out of 10. However, I was generous with the Scots after their 5-1 thrashing against Germany. 9 players got 1 out of 10. Ryan Porteous got 0 out of 10. Their man of the match was a sub. Grant Hanley got 5. Stand by then for the England marks out of 10. They'll be up on the website not long after full time this evening. Head to talksport.com. And also on the website, the doyen of football writers, the great Henry Winter, will be giving his verdict on England tomorrow morning and the morning after every England game at this tournament. Very special, and it's going to be on the website talksport.com. Stuart Pearce, you may be interested to listen to these. These are messages from on our text service on TalkSport about what you said about Foden. Steve has said Foden looks completely lost. He has to be subbed off. David, the Chelsea fan, says, why do you think Kane has basically only had 1 touch in 45 minutes? Had 2 touches, actually. But still, I mean, the Serbian sub, Mladenovic, had 9 touches, to put it into context. Do we disappoint Foden or the English public? He says. So that kind of backs up what Stuart was saying. I'm sure he'll elaborate in the second half. And Perry Groves, who's doing the watch-along with Jamie O'Hara on the TalkSport YouTube channel right now, agrees with Stuart. Eze on for Foden has to be an option in this second half, but we shall see. England take to the fields for the second half. Quick word on Harry Kane, Stuart Pearce, because didn't have many touches, wasn't really effective in that first half. He's got to improve, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got to improve, but what I would say as well is give him another wide player on the left-hand side. That wide player will supply more balls into the box, and there is no one better in international football than finishing than Harry Kane. So give him a supply line in the box when the defenders are turned, and that will give him more of an opportunity to get into the game. It's been a difficult game for him to get into at present.
We're ready for the second half. Live on TalkSport, England leads Serbia 1-0 at Euro 2024. And here's your TalkSport commentary team of Stuart Pearce and Jim Proudfoot.
And there is going to be a change at half-time, but it's a Serbian change in the heart of midfield. Gudel, who picked up a yellow card in that first 45, hasn't reappeared. And Ivan Ilic, the Torino midfielder, once on the books of Manchester City, has come on to replace him. Ilic for Gudel at the beginning of the second half. It is the same England 11. Daniele Orsada, the referee, waiting for the signal to get this second period underway. England in all white, kicking from left to right, leading courtesy of Jude Bellingham's 4th international goal on 13 minutes. 1-0 as the rain continues to pour from leaden skies here in Gelsenkirchen on the banks of the River Ruhr. Ball played forward by the Serbs to halfway. First touch for Ilic, who has a second and then a third. He's already had more touches in the game than Harry. He's got that again now. Serbia in cherry red shirts, shorts and socks, and in possession over on the far touchline. Back for Ilic again. Ilic played forward towards the edge of the penalty area for Milinkovic-Savic. Back to Ilic. And now coming forward, Milenkovic. Milenkovic towards the edge of the penalty area. Goes back to his right-hand side for Veljkovic. And the Serbs, who had the majority of possession over the last 20 minutes of the first half, getting a foothold in the opening exchanges of the second period. Completely in contrast to the way that they started the first 45 minutes. But they go for their goalkeeper, Rajkovic. Rajkovic out towards the right-hand side. Ilic again. Ilic coming forward towards the right-hand side of midfield, in towards Alexander Mitrovic. Good sliding challenge comes in on him to win the ball back from Jude Bellingham. Poked away from him, though, by Sasha Lukic. And Milenkovic-Savic will pick up again. 90 seconds into the second half here on TalkSport. And England still leading 1-0. Lukic, Milenkovic-Savic out towards the right-hand side for Zivkovic. England winning it back well with Foden. And then coming in off the left-hand touchline, they could try and get the ball in the midfield and play in the switch of play out towards Bukayo Saka. Saka with a little cushion layup towards Alexander-Arnold. Got the ball out from underneath his feet. Kane will pick it up. Oh, Kane hit the referee. It would have been a really good ball forward. And the referee stands hands outstretched and said, I'm sorry, I was looking to see where play was developing. Couldn't get out of the way of it. Kane with an excellent ball down the inside right channel before it hit the referee, and play restarts. Stewart with a drop ball. Here's Declan Rice.
Yeah, good offensive play there. Kane receiving, getting turned, looking to play that forward pass. Walker on his way quickly. Good to see.
And England have got it again with Bellingham being blocked off towards the edge of the penalty area. No foul. Mitrovic picking up possession. Goes out to the right-hand touchline for Zivkovic. Rajkovic, the goalkeeper, onto his left foot, and he will clip it forward over halfway. England just on the back foot again for a moment. An opportunity for Serbia to bring it forward. Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, who's slowly getting into the game, becoming more of an influence. He steps up from the defensive line to curtail this latest attack. Out towards Saka. Saka into the feet of Kane. Kane losing out to Milenkovic. Now Foden will chase after a ball that squirts through the midfield, but Veljkovic is there first. And another opportunity for Zivkovic to bring it forward. Zivkovic running at Kieran Trippier. Didn't know whether to stick or twist. Almost came back his way after a ricochet on the edge of the box. England clear and get it out towards Bukayo Saka on the right-hand touchline right in front of us. Midway inside the Serbian half. Saka not too much in the way of support. Tried to engineer a crossfield ball out towards the England left. It didn't come off, and England need to get a grip of this possession. It's the opening 3.5 minutes of the second half have entirely belonged to Serbia.
Well, totally agree there. We've come out, and the Serbians are the one passing the ball around, and we're paying lip service to putting them under any pressure at all with the ball, and that spelled out in the first half can be very, very dangerous.
Stones will head the ball back for Jordan Pickford. Defensively, England have conceded nearly a goal a game over the last 18 months or so. 20 in the last 21 and a half matches. That after conceding only 13 in the previous 42, when it was only about a goal every 4.5 hours that they were conceding. Now it's a goal every 1.5 hours, which is a concern. And they just need to try and settle things down here. 4.5 minutes gone in the second half. Pickford, the ball at his feet inside his own penalty area. Forward towards Kane. Kane who's trying to roll Milenkovic but can't do so. Milenkovic turns it forward, and then Milinkovic-Savic lays it back to his goalkeeper, which ordinarily in the national side is his brother. Not tonight. It's Rajkovic who's in goal instead. And Mark Gahey will pick up possession as it's clattered forward in his direction, and now Walker could turn it into the feet of Declan Rice. Better from England over the last 2 minutes. More sustained possession. Not really possession for anything more than possession's sake at the moment. Foden being followed by Ilic, drops into a number 4 role. That just lays it back to his goalkeeper, and he only just had the legs to get there. Ilic chased after it. Pickford was there first. Played through the midfield. Pavlovic beating Bukayo Saka in the air. Alexander-Arnold winning the seconds, but then losing out. Sasha Lukic bringing it forward. The Fulham man stopped before he got to the edge of the penalty area by Rice. Walker gets it out towards Saka. It's a really scrappy passage of play, this, with both sides making mistakes. Neither side able to get their foot on the ball for long periods of time at the moment. Kane coming back, beaten by Pavlovic. Milinkovic-Savic inside the centre circle for Ilic. This is feeling a little bit nervy. Start of the second half, not transpiring how England would have wanted it to if they thought that the last 10 minutes in the first half saw them go off the boil. They're probably a little bit further south than the start of the second.
Yeah, unbeknown to our players, we've encouraged Serbia to come into the game. We didn't realise it. Instead of getting on the front foot and really killing them off, we didn't do that, and this is the sum total of what you get if you do not.
The second half so far, Stu, Serbia have had 75% possession, albeit only through 6 minutes, but it's a nervy start. Gay getting it back for Pickford, who slams it forward with authority. A slightly awkward bounce for Milinkovic, but he was there ahead of Kane and could nod it back to his goalkeeper.
Yeah, as I say, at the moment it's all Serbia looking to build through the thirds and into their half, and we've really got to wrestle the ascendancy back in this game again.
Milinkovic inside his own half for Serbia. England leading it, courtesy of Jude Bellingham's flying header. 13 minutes in. England next in action on Thursday. 5 o'clock kickoff against Denmark in Frankfurt. Vlahovic, ball inside the penalty area from him. It was an effective one, but Trippier was there to be able to dig it clear. And then Saka was waiting, and Pavlovic took over. He'll bring it towards the edge of the penalty area. Mitrovic takes over now and tries to thread a through ball. He missed Vlahovic, and it goes through for Jordan Pickford. England have got to get a grip of this.
This was written all over the first half, this performance, and the longer the first half went on, the weaker the performance had become. And as I say, it's difficult to pick the momentum up when you're used to not playing with the momentum out of possession of the ball.
So how do England get more of the ball? Because it seems at the moment, if they're struggling to defend and they're struggling to do their work when they haven't got it, one way to try and curtail that is to get a grip of it and get more of the ball to stop Serbia being able to ask these questions.
Well, you've got to upgrade your defensive work, more aggression and more energy in our defensive work, and couple that with more aggression with our attacking work. We've seen us put them on the back foot on occasion in the first half, just need to do it a little bit more.
Saka heads it on. Foden came to meet it. He tried to get a flick to take the ball past Veljkovic, who Foden claimed caught him. The referee, I think rightly, says play on. And Serbia have it again, and they'll bring it forward with the lively Živkovic, the right wing back. In the midfield, Sasha Lukic, senior partner in the centre of midfield for Serbia, drops deep. Exchange of passes between him and Milinkovic. And the centre half, wearing fork and bring it forward towards halfway. No pressure on the ball for England, who are still dropping off in a shape as Ilic brings it forward to find Lukic, who's now 20 yards outside the England box. Pavlovic back towards Lukic again. Played past Bellingham and Kane. Now towards the right hand side for Živkovic. And still the possession is good for Serbia. An attempt to play a potent ball down the right hand side of the box. Missed his man. And he goes out to play past Vlahovic and out for a goal kick, but it'll be taken by Jordan Pickford away to the left. This is the England side. It's the same England side at the start of the game. Pickford in goal, Walker, Stones, Gahey, Trippier, Rice and Alexander-Arnold, Saka, Bellingham, Foden and Kane. But I know that you feel the changes not just need to be made now, they should have been made by now.
I think they should have been made on the half hour at least, because you make them now, it won't have an impact in the game now, because a pattern has been set in this second half, and we've got to wrestle that back off their football too much at the moment. We've dropped down to a standard, Jim, and playing to their standard and their tempo, and we can play a lot higher than that.
Historically, I remember that tournament 1-0 to England could be such a dangerous lead, and you know, we can all think of games in which England have had the advantage, have had quite a good start, and then have sort of retreated back into their shell. This feels like a movie we've seen before. Worth pointing out, though, that England are unbeaten in 11 group games in the Euros. That's a run that stretches back to another game that transpired a little bit like this back in 2004, when England played France and led very, very late, going into the 90th minute, ended up losing that 2-1 as Zidane worked his magic. Harry Kane's got the ball, what England would give for a second goal here. Foden to Rice. Alexander-Arnold from distance. Flashes a shot in. Stojkovic got his hands behind it and beat it away. Got it back outside the penalty area. Rare shot on target from England. Saka, good quick feet from Bellingham. Players all around him. Laid it back towards Walker. It's an excellent one. Alexander-Arnold plays it back inside the area for Bellingham. Really good challenge from Ilic. Poked it away from him inside the penalty area. Clearly a clean tackle to get it clear. Maybe a goal-saving tackle at that.
Yeah, great interchange by England. Much better there. And when the ball was played back to Bellingham, Ilic, I've got to say, had to get his tackle right. Did get his tackle right.
Shot from Trent. The only shot on target we've had since the goal. When I say we, I mean as spectators for either side. So just the second attempt on goal of the night so far is Declan Rice. England leading at 1-0. Tomorrow, Romania against Ukraine is on TalkSport 2. That's the first of the triple bill. Kicks off at 2 your time. And live from Munich, then Belgium-Slovakia at 5. Here on TalkSport from Frankfurt. And then about 20 miles west of here in Dusseldorf, the 8 o'clock game. France get underway against Austria. And we've got them all covered for you. All 51 games on the TalkSport network from here in Germany. Bukayo Saka picks up possession for England and brings it forward. The last 2 or 3 minutes a little bit better for England. They've had possession, they've had better possession, they've had it in much more advanced areas as well. This is without any potency, it has to be said, by and large, but it's more redolent of the opening 10-15 minutes or so of the game. Rice getting it for Phil Foden. 12 minutes gone in the second half. Declan Rice has got it again. Saka just in an offside position for a moment, but playing on the shoulder of Pavlovic. Ball played forward is through a central area instead and goes straight through for the Serbian goalkeeper Rajkovic. Let's go back pitch side and catch up with TalkSport's England correspondent Faye Carruthers. Faye?
It's been interesting watching the conversations between Jordan Pickford and his back line. He was angry with Kieran Trippier. In fact, their lack of communication between the two of them earlier on he wasn't particularly happy with, and he's been trying to calm everybody down.
Faye, thank you. Serbia in possession now. They're 10 yards inside their own half. And Milenkovic will be able to bring the ball forward. They've had the majority of possession in the second period, and actually not an awful lot in it, Serbia. Now they're able to get in the box. Stones with an excellent blocking challenge. Pickford comes out, ends up with the ball in his hands. He was at his feet for a moment. He leans over him and almost gives Jordan Pickford a hug. So grateful was he that he was able to get the ball in his hands. Mitrovic has ended up in a crumpled heap inside the penalty area. Pickford bowls the ball out of play so that he can receive treatment, but that was nervous because they got Miledinovic in from left wing back, in behind the fullback Carl Walker. John Stones having to come across and make the challenge, and Mitrovic very nearly got there.
Yeah, and it was the sum total, Jim, of us allowing the Serbs to get up to the halfway line unopposed, play the ball forward, receive unopposed on a couple of occasions, and it's too dangerous. You cannot play that way.
Excellent Serbian movement right in front of you, Faye.
And it was Alexander Mitrovic with all the trouble for the English defence, but actually Pickford was worried that he'd damaged Mitrovic's knee and put the ball out of play. Nice interchange between the two players, and he's back on his feet now.
Yeah, Alexander Mitrovic taking a tumble. Goal scoring record he's had, 111 goals for Fulham at a rate of better than one every other game, and 36 in 38 for Al Hilal this season. And a really good goal scoring record for his country as well, 58 in 91. Serbia have already made 2 changes. They're going to make another 2, and they're going to bring on a striker and a 10, Jovic and Tadic. They clearly feel that they've not quite got England on the ropes, but that they can do some damage here. There's a straight swap up front. Jovic coming on for Mitrovic, who crosses himself as he leaves the field, now turns and applauds the Serbian support, frustrated at his inability to score in a 3rd successive tournament game. So he comes off and he'll be replaced by Luka Jovic, who scored 10 international goals, but only 1 in his last 10 games, 9 for Milan this season after signing for Fiorentina. And the other change is going to see Dusan Tadic come on, and he will replace Lukic in the centre of midfield. So I would imagine that Milinkovic-Savic will play that little bit deeper. Tadic will play at 10 alongside Vlahovic, and it's going to be a proper 3-4-2-1 now as they try to get themselves back into this game.
Yeah, they've obviously got something in the air that they fancy their chances of getting back in, and this second half and later on in the first half has given every encouragement possible. England playing to a tempo and a standard that the Serbs are quite enjoying, and they're playing through the thirds unopposed and putting some pressure on the England backline with the odd skirmish.
Well, Dusan Tadic very much in the veteran stage of his career now, as Harry Kane is brought down. Started all 6 games at the last couple of World Cups. He's played more international games for Serbia than anybody else. The former Southampton man came off the bench to score in Sweden last weekend, and maybe at this level only has 30 minutes of absolute top quality football in his legs these days, but boy's here, man, that can pick a pass, and England have got to be careful now because he represents a fresh challenge from what they've had to deal with so far. We've played 62 minutes and it's still England leading by a goal to nil. Jude Bellingham with it, but you could argue over the piece as a whole now Serbia deserve pretty much to be back on level terms. England have got to make sure that they don't allow them the opportunities to get there.
Well, they've certainly had some good chances within the game. They've got into wide areas, slid the ball across the face of our goal a couple of times, and as you say, all the warning signs are there. I just hope they don't hit the back of our net when it's too late for us to respond, or too late for us to get into any sort of momentum to wrestle the game back.
Still no changes made by England. Just in a moment I'll be asking you for aside from the one that you've been talking about for most of the evening, as of for Foden, whether you think other changes need to be made to enable England to get a grip. Maybe Gallagher to be introduced, or Wharton. They'll come forward again over on the right-hand side. Milinkovic-Savic for Serbia, yarding from the right-hand touchline. And now we're back through the midfield again towards Milenkovic. Milenkovic is 15 yards inside the England half. England just defending in a shape, very regimented 4-1-4-1 off the ball. Declan Rice, the deepest of those midfielders. Serbia again allowed to come forward. England setting traps for them to some extent, knowing that if they can turn possession over in this kind of area, they might be able to get Bellingham isolated against one of the centre halves. But they've got to turn possession over first. Ball worked down the left-hand side. Milenkovic getting on the end of a wonderful little flick back by Milinkovic-Savic. He gets it back in, right-footed cross, headed at the far post, back towards the penalty spot. Good header away comes from Walker, back outside the penalty area, and England have dealt with the threat.
Got to say, Jim, my heart's in my mouth every time they breach us, every time they're going forward at the moment. There's no white shirt ratting around the ball, getting in the eye line or the passing line of any of the Serb players, and this is very, very worrying.
Mladenovic with a deep cross from the left-hand side. Foden bringing it down inside his own penalty area, and he's just launched it upfield. It's going to come back again. You want to see Gallagher on?
In all honesty, if you turn round to me and said AZOIR is coming on for Foden, Gallagher's coming on, and potentially Wharton's coming on as well, I think it would improve us at this moment in time.
Feels as though it has the potential to be a long final 25 minutes. Ball inside the penalty area for Milenkovic-Savic. Stones in the way, and it's cleared by Alexander-Arnold. I'm sure you'll be aware the other game in this group earlier ended all square, 1-1 between Denmark and Slovenia. Tadic's getting it through here, and Jovic couldn't get it out from between his feet. That is the danger in a nutshell. Now that Dusan Tadic is on, got between the lines, committed a defender, brilliant ball, and if Mitrovic was still on, it might have been 1-1.
Yeah, they've had a couple of, really, really good efforts. You've got to say to the Serbs, they pulled themselves back in the game with no little help from England, I've got to say. But certainly, it looks as though England, the way things are going, Jim, England have got to get a second to win this game.
Yeah, it feels that way. And in fairness, we've been saying for a few months coming into this tournament that it feels with England's defensive record and where the strengths and weaknesses are in this particular team, with no disrespect intended to anybody at all, that England might have to score 2 goals more often than not to win matches. This feels as though this is a case in point. They've got a free kick here inside Serbian territory. They're not going to be in any hurry to take it. Declan Rice is standing over it. He hits it right-footed square to his right-hand side for Kyle Walker. Walker rolling it forward into the feet of Harry Kane. Kane taking it on inside the penalty area to find Trent, who's won a corner, which is England's first of the night. And it comes just before the midway point of the second half.
You asked me a question, substitutes. I said to the 3 substitutes, now, on a controversial vein, you play Bellingham as a false 9, you take Kane off, you take Foden off, and you take Trent off to bring on Walton to sit alongside Rice, Eza playing on the left-hand side, and Gallagher playing as that ratty number 10 to stop the Serbians getting any form of momentum with their build-up play.
Alexander-Arnold is going to take the corner on the England right. And they've got 4 players inside the 6-yard box. Gahey is up there. Saka waits as well. He's preparing to make a run in towards the near post area. Kane with the potential to be able to spin round the back. John Stones is in that area as well. It comes in deep. Goalkeeper punches it away. Helped on by Tadic. Back towards the deepest of the England players, Walker, but he's still well in advance of the centre circle. He finds Foden in towards Trent, right-footed ball in from him, headed away inside the penalty area, not the best header, falls out the left-hand side of the box to Jude Bellingham. Bellingham will take it on again, little drop of the shoulder, trying to take on Ilic and beat him. He's beaten him once, he's beaten him a second time, he's clipped it in towards Saka, but not with the height to get past the goalkeeper who can make the save.
Yeah, really good wing play there. Just needed a bit more loft on it to get it up to the far post potentially. And England had players in the box. John Stones doing extremely well there to maintain the attack just before Bellingham received.
Well, at 10:30 tonight, we'll be waiting to hear your reaction. Jason Cundy and Jamie O'Hara taking your calls, which will be interspersed with all of the reaction from the England camp. We'll hear from Gareth Southgate. And we'll hear from the men that matter as well, the headline makers, joining Faye, our England correspondent, tonight here on TalkSport. We'll be celebrating a victory. Will it be a post-mortem into a slightly lacklustre performance that is framed in the context of a win, or are England going to be blowing the lead? We'll find out together over the next 25 minutes or so. They're going to make a change here, the first of the night, and we are going to see Conor Gallagher come on for Trent.
Yeah, I can see that. It's his energy. We've talked about potentially, was it Trent, was it Gallagher? Horses for courses. Certainly the game at the moment needs someone with the energy of Gallagher to get around players. That takes away that extra defensive shield potentially. Whether he'll play Gallagher sort of advanced, him and Bellingham, or drop Bellingham back alongside Rice, I don't know.
So Gallagher coming on for Alexander-Arnold. It's the first England change. They've got a throw to defend. TalkSport breakfast tomorrow. Bumper way to start your week. Listen to this for a stacked lineup. Jeff Stanley, Gabby Agbonlahor, Alan Pardew, Ashley Young and David Moyes. That's a 5-ball from Dusseldorf. And it's coming your way tomorrow. TalkSport breakfast, reacting to this England performance and looking ahead to another 3 live games on the network. The build-up for which comes with White and Jordan. Also, live from Dusseldorf tomorrow on the TalkSport network. The ball is hooked inside the penalty area. Needs dealing with. Saka can head it away. It comes now towards Pavlovic. Pavlovic with a left-footed cross. That's blocked by Gallagher. The first contribution from him. Goes out of play for a throw that will be taken on the Serbian left, level with the edge of the England penalty area. 20 minutes to go. The second half. Serbia have had almost 50% more passes in the opposition half than England. Serbs have it again, worked inside the box, little near post flick header. Pickford comes out, could have caught that, punched it instead. Saka hooks it away, then a right-footed crossfield volley is poor from the Serbian midfield and drifts straight out of play for a goal kick. We're in the final 20 minutes, England leading 1-0, but it's looking an increasingly precarious advantage.
Jim, we spoke in the build-up to the Serbian team playing a high line, pushing on, pressing, and having a counter-attack threat. As we stand at the moment, they're pushing on, they're squeezing their team up the pitch a little bit, but they're doing it in possession. And on the counter-attack, we're not looking as though we've got any drive, energy to spring that sort of space in behind.
Well, to the extent that just a couple of minutes ago, Saka, Foden and Kane between them had only had 4 touches in the final third in this second half. But England have a free kick now. It's an ability to be able to try and kill the game and grind out the victory from this point, and a second goal may well be enough to seal it. England do have the advantage. It's not as if they're under the cosh chasing the game or still the status quo intact. England have the advantage. They've had it for almost exactly an hour, and they've got a free kick here, deep over on the left-hand touchline. Phil Foden to take it, left-footed ball, swung inside the box. Gahey was the target, headed away at the far post by Milenkovic. Comes out for Saka, left-footed ball in from him, headed back across the edge of the 6-yard box, where it took a deflection into the hands of goalkeeper Rajkovic from Declan Rice's header.
Yeah, got himself in a good position there, Declan. Just didn't get enough loft on it to put it back into the danger zone, hit the first man, and goalkeeper was pleased to see it drop into his palms.
Ball cleared again from the edge of the Serbian penalty area out towards the far touchline. Trippier can take control of that. Working in towards Phil Foden. And Foden will go back for Mark Gahey. And now to Jordan Pickford inside his own penalty area. Right in front of you, Faye. You've noticed something about the pitch, particularly in that penalty area Jordan Pickford's defending.
Well, because there's been so much rain here in Gelsenkirchen, the pitch is really soft and there are so many divots that Jordan Pickford is having to repair with his studs, and he's just pointed down to the pitch at me and shook his head and been very annoyed and started trying to repair it again. It's really affecting him.
Thank you. That's a concern, but if it's only just in the head of Jordan Pickford. Saka's done well, pushing forward through the midfield, a dynamic run, and then flipped it with his right boot and towards the left-hand side for Jude Bellingham. There's action on both benches. Serbia have only got 1 change left, and it's imminent. England have still got 4 left. I think we're going to be seeing AZOIR sooner rather than later. Later than Stewart would have wanted. Rice in towards Bellingham. Bellingham with his back to the direction of play on the edge of the penalty area, finding Foden. Foden scored it again after an exchange of passes with Trippier. Now towards Declan Rice. Rice is 15 outside the penalty area, with England winning 1-0 here on TalkSport, but not playing brilliantly. Foden again, coming in off the left flank. Inside the centre circle for John Stones. England have won the first game in all 3 major tournaments that Gareth Southgate has led them in, including an 89th minute winner against Tunisia back in the 2018 World Cup. Now the ball is played for by Foden. Looked like a good turn by Bellingham. Bellingham is judged to have fouled Tadic. He then continued his run. The referee's given a free kick Serbia's way. They will make their final change. Birmančević is going to be coming on to replace Živkovic. So the right wing back comes off and he's been replaced by Veljko Birmančević, who plays for Sparta Prague. He's on for his competitive debut. He did come on in this position to replace Živkovic in Sweden last weekend, and it's another straight swap. The bearded youngster coming on, scored a stoppage time winner in the Czech Cup final earlier this season. Will he be able to make a late impact in this game? Work forward towards Tadic over on the right-hand side for the Serbs as we approach the final 15 minutes. England have done well to win the ball back over on the left-hand touchline with Foden. His low centre of gravity bringing it forward. Birmančević diving in. England have played past him. Foden coming forward again. Foul by the retreating Tadic, who gets a yellow card. Second player cautioned today. The action on the England bench suggests that changes will be made probably the next break in play. We're not just going to see Iberici Eza, we're going to be seeing Jared Bowen as well. So a double change imminent for England, Stuart, who lead 1-0 with 15 to go here on TalkSport.
Yeah, as I say, Eza has just put his training top back on, so maybe not just yet for him. Bowen potentially coming on. You would think for Saka potentially. I'd be more tempted. I don't know the fitness situation of Saka, but I think I'd be more tempted to slide Saka over to the left-hand side personally and put Bowen on this side.
Well, he leaves the field with an assist against his name, Bukayo Saka, and Jared Bowen will come on to replace him. Bowen, who hasn't played a competitive international for England since that ill-fated Nations League campaign back in 2022. He's never won a competitive international for England. He comes on for his 9th cap to replace Bukayo Saka. So that's interesting. There's only one further opportunity to make changes for England now, because the 2 changes they've made have been singles. As are still warming up in front of us on this near touchline. Bowen for Saka. A long ball from Pickford will try and find him. Saka almost able to roll Pavlovic to get on the end of it. Then when it's teased over the top of Pavlovic, he was able to retreat before Milenkovic-Savic fouls Gallagher, and England get a free kick midway inside the Serbian half. 1-0.
Interesting to see how the subs have been made for each team. You know, on 73 minutes, all 5 subs were dealt out for the Serbs. Obviously thought that they were attempting to get back into the game.
Here's the blonde-haired Bowen on the right-hand side of the penalty area. Stands up a beautiful cross. Kane's header hits the bar. Well, he's hardly been involved tonight, Harry Kane, but he's rattled the frame of the goal with a header. Goalkeeper maybe just got a hand to it and flick it onto the bar.
Brilliant save by the goalkeeper. And once again, he's been on the pitch, 10 seconds, Bowen, dropped the shoulder, gone past someone, run at somebody, and the goalkeeper's made a point-blank save with his left arm and just shoved it onto the bar.
Kane did everything, I'm sorry Stu, that he was told to do, with a header back across the face of the goalkeeper from where the cross had come, and Pavlovic just stuck up her left hand, as you say, and tipped it onto the bar.
Yeah, it's one of those, we asked the question why Harry Kane has not got involved. I will say because we've not had enough Jarrod Bowen runs down the wing and balls into the box. Put it in the box, he'll get on the end of things.
Very close to probably making this game safe, but he didn't, and it isn't. Ball inside the penalty area that England are defending here. Not the best defensive header from Kieran Trippier. Back out of the Serbian right. Trippier then very nearly nutmegged by Birmancevic, but he can recover and get it back for Jordan Pickford, who clears upfield. England have got it again and then lose it to Sergei Milenkovic-Savic. He's also playing his club football in Saudi Arabia these days. He's got it again. Hasn't quite had the influence that he would like, but he can bring it forward towards the edge of the box. Knocked away though easily by England's left back here and Trippier, and then just squeezed through towards Harry Kane, and Stewart gives Kane the instruction to turn and run and take it into Serbian territory. Great back heel pull back, but the pass then from Foden didn't find Gallagher, and England are on the back foot again after a scrappy passage of play in the midfield. Pavlovic bringing it forward, left-footed ranging pass from him, bounces once in the England box, but will be cleared easily for towards Phil Foden, who can turn neatly to play in Declan Rice. England slowly sensing that the finishing line is getting closer. They lead 1-0 thanks to a great goal from this man Jude Bellingham. Wonderful first half performance from him, but has been less influential in the second. And now England have got a problem, and not only have they got a problem, they've got a problem at left back. Kieran Trippier, down injured, lying on his back now, looked as though he was feeling his hamstring potentially. That is a monumental blow.
Well, that's not an understatement by any means. In a position we did not need to lose a player, we've probably lost one exactly where we have. And if it is a hamstring problem, I think the likes of Luke Shaw could get rushed into action in the next game potentially. Let's hope it's not too bad. More importantly, who's going to come in and fill in for this game to finish off if we do have to make a change?
Well, Gareth Southgate's face is a picture of concern. His principal options would be Gomez or an unfit Shaw. And you mentioned before the game, Stu, that Luke Shaw wasn't even warming up, so it's not going to be that. England are also in the position that if they make a change to replace Trippier, they have to make every other change they want to make tonight now, because this is the only time they can do it. They've only got one substitute junction left. Trippier has been helped off the field. He's got his right boot up on the electronic hoardings on the far side. He's got almost a watery smile on his face as he grimaces. He's going to try and stretch things out and continue. And Serbia very sportingly with Pavlovic restore possession to England, who would put the ball out of play so that Trippier could receive the treatment, and he's coming back on.
Yeah, I've got to say, if there was any doubt whatsoever with Trippier, I'd make the change personally. I really would. Last thing you want to do is make an injury worse and lose him for a couple of games, if not the tournament.
Gallagher has done really well to win that back. The referee didn't agree with that assessment. I don't know what he saw there, whether the foot was raised too high as he came back to win it. I think it was. He just caught Ilic actually having seen the replay, and the referee's got it right. It's a free kick that the Serbs will take 15 yards inside their own half. We've got 9 minutes of normal time to go. I would imagine at least another 4 minutes of stoppage time already. So 13 minutes of playing time maybe, as a guide for England to be able to protect this 1-0 lead and get the job done and go top of the group.
I've got to say, the referee, I think, has had a really solid game tonight, Jim. You know, he's dealt with everything, give the right decisions. I think he's done really well.
Yeah, he's one of the best, Daniele Orsato. Last time that he refereed an England game was the first match of the last Euros. England beating Croatia 1-0. They lead Serbia 1-0 tonight. Ball on the edge of the penalty area though. Pickford just got his hand to it. Helmet on his way over the bar. Relatively comfortable save, but a well-struck shot from Vlahovic 20 yards out. He's able to turn on the edge of the box, beat his man, left-footed, with power. Pickford saw it coming from a long way out and helped it on his way.
Yeah, really good touch there. As I say, turn on the edge of the box. He opened the goal up a touch, hit it, and to be honest with you, it was probably rising just over, but Pickford weren't making sure. He just helped it on its way.
Only Serbia's second corner of the night, only the third corner of the game. Tadic to take it, left-footed away swinger, Stones with a good header, right-footed effort back in, Pickford throwing himself at it, didn't get that far, it was headed away from inside the 6-yard box by Kane, and then an England player goes down inside the box and the referee's given a free kick England's way. All a little bit harum-scarum at times inside that penalty area. But it was a good block by Harry Kane. Pickford would have saved it. Kane not to know, couldn't take the chance. England now have a free kick and they've got 7 minutes of normal time to navigate.
Yeah, we've been in the mode of seeing the game out for too long now, so we're not going to break out of that mode. We're in a lethargy, if you like, and I can't see us getting the second goal to extend things and making life a little bit easier. And we've just got to make sure we starve Serbia and the ball and keep them away from our goal.
03717 22 3344. You can book your calls now as you react to this England performance. At the moment, it's an England winning start, but not a vintage performance. And Jason Cundy and Jamie O'Hara would love to hear your views on 03717 22 3344, and you will hear reaction from the England camp over the course of the final half hour of this show until 10:30 when Jason and Jamie start, and more reaction to come as well during that time. Got it all covered for you here on TalkSport. Don't forget, tomorrow morning, breakfast live from Dusseldorf with Jeff Stelling, Gabby Agbonlahor, Alan Pardew, Ashley Young and David Moyes as well. Then Wright and Jordan bring you the 1 to 3 live commentaries tomorrow across the TalkSport network. Here's Bellingham trying to get on the end of a throw on the edge of the box and it's headed away. Stones, Gallagher. Gallagher's been a calming influence in the midfield since coming on. The referee takes evasive action. Bellingham comes in, steams around the blind side of one of the Serbian midfielders and finds Bowen. Stood again urging Jarrod Bowen to turn and try and get England going forward. They've gone the other way, back towards Pickford. Pickford now with a wonderful piece of distribution. Sends one down towards Bowen. Bowen has got Pavlovic forcing him towards halfway. And now Walker will be able to pick it up. Walker has turned and chipped it through the midfield towards Bellingham. Bellingham towards Harry Kane. Kane on the left-hand side. That's given away. England chasing after it with Gahey. Vlahovic might be there first. He's won a throw. England's final change is going to see Kobbie Mainoo brought on very shortly. 5 minutes of normal time to go. It looks as though that's going to be the only change. That will be England's last. Kane is then fouled on the edge of the centre circle by Vlahovic. And it's a free kick going to be taken by England. Dragan Stojkovic, the Serbian coach, has picked up a yellow card for the dissent that he's shown to fourth official Ivan Krusliak, arguing against a recent decision. So he's in the book. And here's the final England change. Bellingham off, Mainu on.
Yeah, interesting call, I think, that one. Wouldn't have been the shout that I made, but listen, he's been the one that's been the difference between the two sides tonight. Eventually, I think the second half he's not shown as well as he can do, but I don't think the whole team have. But his bravery has got us a goal and maybe the 3 points, hopefully.
Excellent first 45 minutes for Jude Bellingham. He leaves the field. And a 20-year-old being replaced by a 19-year-old, Kobbie Mainoo, getting his first taste of competitive international football. The man who scored the winner in the FA Cup final, who only recently made his England debut against Brazil, and he's come on for his 4th international appearance and his first in both a tournament and indeed a competitive game. 3.5 minutes of normal time to go. 5 minutes maybe to be added. Here's Pickford inside his own penalty area. Left-footed ball forward over Harry Kane. Kane letting it run. Milenkovic was turned. Pavlovic wasn't. And then Mainoo, as he handled that, as the ball came forward through the midfield, he has. And it's a free kick to Serbia on halfway. And England coming back, trying to get the bodies back behind the ball quickly. Serbia take a free kick relatively quickly. Don't commit the bodies forward. Set up on the edge of the penalty area, they just restart play. Pavlovic coming forward, left of the 3 centre-halves. Clipped out towards the far side. Foden with a slight misjudgment on a poor cross. Mainoo then goes up for it. Foden is able to pick up the seconds, and he will take it on. Past a couple in the midfield, and then was body checked by Veljkovic. And that'll be a free kick to England just inside their own half. And what it has done, though, is disrupt the flow of the game. They're trying to take the free kick quickly, curiously quickly, and have lost it. And Tadic will bring it forward again. There's absolutely no need for England to do that. Tadic working it back towards halfway. It's 1-0 to England on TalkSport with 2.5 minutes of normal time to go. Still protecting this 13th minute lead. Birmancevic, left-footed ball inside the area. Good flash cross came in. And it's cleared by England. Now towards Kane, who can't hold it up. Tadic has got it. Tadic now towards the near touchline. Bowen trying to buy a free kick. Hasn't been able to do it. It's a throw to Serbia. And Mladenovic has taken it quickly. Ilic, who came on as a half-time substitute. Little 1-2. Back towards Milenkovic. Milinkovic-Savic. Mladenovic, good turn from him, getting the better of Bowen. Can he work the cross in? Didn't fancy it on his right foot. Lays it off. Milenkovic-Savic with a curving effort, but he got across it, and it's gone high and wide. And England are 2 minutes away from getting to stoppage time.
Yeah, real worry there as Tadic has got the ball coming. So I think it was Tadic. Sorry, it was Milenkovic-Savic. Sorry, come inside, open the goal up, and the shot just didn't come inside that far post. Thankfully for England, but too much room once again, Jim, allowing us to play through the thirds in and around our box. It's a dangerous game.
It's a fragile lead, but it's still a lead. Mainoo helping it on. The ball goes back for the goalkeeper Rajkovic, who made that stunning save to deny Harry Kane England's second goal, which would have made the point safe. Kane has the ball now in the midfield. Gallagher winning it back. Kane had gone down. England have still got possession. Rice goes back for Gahey. His performance, one of the positives for England tonight. Gahey working across the edge of his own penalty area for Stones. Back for Pickford again. And he clears it long through the midfield, where Kane has done well to flick it on down towards Jarrod Bowen. Wearing 20, back from him to number 16, Conor Gallagher. And now Carl Walker will bring it forward. And the giant clock on the massive monitor that hangs over the pitch shows that there are only 20 seconds of the 90 minutes left. Foden chipping one over the top, trying to release Kieran Trippier, who's continued gamely despite that injury that he picked up. The ball's gone out of play. He's having another stretch now. He's clearly not right, but just trying to labour through here We're going into stoppage time, and good news for England that it's only 4 minutes. It might have been more.
I was expecting more, I've got to say, Jim, and I still feel as though in that period of time my heart's going to be in my mouth on the odd occasion.
Gallagher to Mainu, back for Gallagher again, and forward towards Kobbie Mainu again. Walker a yard in from the right hand touchline. Gallagher trying to poke it forward towards Mainu, and Gallagher's been fouled. This will do for England, just disrupting the play, breaking it up, making it fractious and fragmented. And that will certainly see them over the line. 3 minutes to go. Kyle Walker playing the ball back inside his own half for John Stones. Stones out towards the far touchline. England have only kept 3 clean sheets in the last 10 games. Can they keep one for another 3 minutes? They can. They're off to a winning start. Gallagher came in and he's bought a free kick. And that again will do nicely. He's done okay since coming on.
Well, he's offered energy. That's what he's done, and that's his key point. And the game needed that from a defensive point of view. He's knitted things together, and he's hurried and scurried the opposition a little bit more than any of the other England midfield players. And it's almost horses for courses, Jim, in some ways. You know, the game needed that.
Well, he's just looked up at the big screen. Not to admire the close-up of him, but just to see how long is left. He doesn't know because it just says 90 minutes. It's not ticking on in stoppage time. The answer, Connor, 2.5 minutes to go. England work the ball down towards the right-hand touchline. Bowen can't get it to stick, and it goes out of play for a throw. Mladenovic nicking a couple of yards, throws it back towards the edge of his own penalty area for Milenkovic. He clatters it forward over halfway. Good powerful header from John Stones. Serbia win the second. Tadic turns it wide, now towards the right-hand side. Danger here for England if the cross is good. It's well blocked by Trippier. Comes back out for Tadic though. Tadic has got Veljkovic in support behind him. Veljkovic to Ilic, 1-0 England lead, 2 minutes to go, but the Serbs around the edge of the English box. Good cross coming in, well blocked by Bowen, out of play for a throw.
Yeah, got a round of applause there from John Stones, did Bowen, for blocking the cross, and it's important that all of us have got that mindset. Block the cross, block the shot.
Ilic with the shot, Gallagher with the block. And Bowen on the right-hand side of the penalty area is able to get it away. Veljkovic, Milenkovic, Pavlovic, blocked by Bowen, out for another throw.
Yeah, as I say, the Serbs, they're looking at it, their last hurrah at the moment. They've got plenty of the ball in and around the halfway line. They're looking for that opportunity in wide areas to whip the ball in the box. They've got big numbers in the back line.
We're in the 94th minute. England lead 1-0. Ilic, right-hand side of the penalty area. It's fired in, it's headed on, it's headed away. Bowen then, awkwardly but effectively, clears it left-footed over his own shoulder, down towards the right-hand touchline where Kane has bought a free kick quite brilliantly, and that should see England to victory.
Absolutely amateurish defending by Milenkovic. You could see Harry Kane just slowing up, waiting for the contact, worldly wise, and giving England the relief they needed.
By the time the free kick is taken, there will be about 20 seconds to go. Pickford's just going to put his foot through this and get it into Serbian territory. He hits it, left-footed. Now will trot back towards the edge of his own penalty area. Headed away by Milenkovic on the edge of the Serbian box. Foden turning it forward. Takes an awkward bounce. Pavlovic will get it away. And that is victory. England off to a winning start. Boy, is there room for improvement. But if you're going to play in a lacklustre fashion in your first game, if you can ally that performance to a victory, that might just be a winning combination. England know that they can and have to get better. But a Jude Bellingham header on 13 minutes has won this tonight, and England are top of the group. A fourth successive tournament under Gareth Southgate, and in all four they got off to a winning.
Couldn't wrestle momentum back from them. I said to you in the first half, the substitution was made. We needed a double-sided in this game. On the 25 minutes I saw, 20 minutes I saw, we needed a double-pronged attack in the wide areas. Players that could go past defenders that were slow. We never did that. We done it too rarely. Saka was the only one who half done it with and without the ball. Would still have liked to have seen him do it a lot more. That worries me, this momentum. When the opposition grab it from you, we didn't get anywhere near them, and they played through the thirds and got too close to our goal for my liking.
I'm a big fan of Dusan Tadic, and when he came on, he created, with a bit of magic, the best chance, and Serbia should have scored. England have won 1-0, but Serbia should have equalised tonight. Tadic with a lovely little threaded ball. Jovic couldn't control it. It ran through for Jordan Pickford. They equalised then, and they should have equalised then. You wonder what, we'll never know, but you wonder what would have happened for the rest of the game, because their momentum was up and we couldn't grasp back the initiative. It didn't look to me like we could anyway. So that to me is a major concern. We're doing Sweet Caroline. The players have gone over to the fans. I do understand that, because we've won the game, but that goes in and it should go in. It's a different story, Stuart.
Yeah, it certainly should. They had enough balls across the face of our box. They've had enough balls in and around our penalty box. Good thing is, Aid, we've won the game. Good thing is we've kept a clean sheet. They've had as many chances, maybe more chances than we had. We got a wonderful goal in Bellingham. No doubt about that. It was a great goal. We've got to learn from this, because if we're going to go, and I'm looking and commentating on the first 45 minutes, but I'm giving you an insight of what's down the road. And if we drop away from the momentum of games and let teams have the ball and not get in their face and threaten them and think it's someone else's job, we're going to come out on the wrong side of a 1-0.
When we're talking about substitutions, you did say in the first half in commentary, we talked about it at half-time, that after that first 25 minutes or so, you would have thought making a substitution would be a good thing to do. We didn't make a substitution till halfway through the second half, by which time Serbia had made 4 substitutions, 3 of them tactical, 1 an injury substitution. Foden stayed on the pitch for the whole game, and maybe that was because Gareth Southgate thought, right, if we're going to keep hold of the ball, Phil Foden is probably one of the best players at keeping hold of the ball. When Bowen came on, I thought that he was electric for the first few minutes when he came on, and he created that great chance for Harry Kane. That probably should have been 2-0, but it's a complete wonder save. But Bowen coming on and racing down the right-hand side, that was exactly what we need, but that was probably the only time he did that, really.
Yeah, it probably didn't matter who come on, as long as they had a mindset of getting turned and running. If you ask any of the back line of Serbia, what did you not want tonight? They would turn around and tell you straight away, I don't want someone taking me on and running at me. Kostic was a disaster at left back, you know. He's brilliant in the opposition's half. He delivers great balls. Jim outlined it fantastically well, that he is a real threat in the opposition third and whatever. In his own third, he's scared stiff. We didn't ask enough questions of him. When we did, we scored goals and created the odd skirmish.
What is it about Gareth Southgate and substitutions? Because his in-game management has been questioned. It will be questioned again tonight, given what happened. Why does it take so long for him to make substitutions? What's going on in his head, do you think?
You're always dealing with the emotional effect of players. You're always dealing with, look, we got our nose in front. The manager's mentality and foresight of what's going on is different to mine. I'm up here in the state. I've been in the technical area. Your head's a jumble on occasion. When you're up here, there's clarity. There's calmness, there's clarity, there's sweets, there's chocolate, there's all the good things in life. And you can see things a lot clearer. I've not got any emotional buy-in to taking a player off or bringing them on. So there isn't that either. And I've been there as a manager, and sometimes you have that emotional tie and think, well, what will I do to his confidence, and all of this nonsense that comes into your head, when the greater good is England winning the game, and England getting better and better by the performance. This game, in my opinion, and I said it in the first half, should have been won 3-0. If we'd have gone after them after Bellingham hit the back of the net, or even from the first minute, where they looked at us and thought, we're scared stiff of you, you're quicker than us, you pass it quicker than us, and one-on-one you're much better than us. We didn't do that. We eased into the game, we allowed them to get comfortable, and on 35 minutes couldn't wrestle momentum back.
Well, we've discussed the substitutions. It's one of the criticisms levelled at Gareth Southgate, and I think it might be after tonight's game as well. Another one is that he is cautious that we didn't go for the throat when we were totally on top, which you've just outlined there. His nickname is Gareth Safegate. And I think it's a well-earned nickname. And I think that those critics will point to the second half and say, well, he was playing safe. We were getting behind the ball. We weren't prepared to be adventurous, even though we've got all these brilliant attacking players. So is that the hallmark of a manager who just wants to hold on to victory?
I'm going to turn around to you and say, at the start of the game, did we all sit here and think, I like the look of the team? Yes, we did.
Yep.
I would throw the ball into the court of each individual player, especially the ones at the front end of the team, and say, when you receive the ball, does your manager tell you, don't turn and don't take someone on? He'll tell you don't give the ball away, but I'll tell you what, I don't mind you giving the ball away if you force a corner out the opposition. You know, I think we should have done that a bit more. And so, the information for me, if you bring AZOIR on this side and Saka that side, say, whenever you receive the ball, don't turn backwards, don't pass it backwards. Brian Clough used to say to our wide players, I don't pay you to give it back to the fullback. Your job is to go and take someone on. And they had fullbacks tonight. Their fullbacks weren't Kyle Walker that could defend brilliantly and quickly and whatever. I mean, on occasion when Saka dipped his shoulder and run without it or went with it, it took your breath away as a fullback. I thought, I don't want that. It should happen minute after minute after minute in the game.
But this is a recurring theme. We talked about this after Iceland. We're talking about it again tonight. We've talked about it in the past. And I, like you, I don't believe that the message isn't being conveyed from the manager. So, what do we do to change it? Because if the message is coming from the manager to the players and they're not doing it, then we're just going to be reliving games like that. And sooner or later, England aren't going to get away with it and they're not going to win. So, how does it change from here?
Well, that is the $24 question. It's either a more aggressive stance in regard to substitutes from the bench, maybe a game plan that says, look, I'm not sure how this game's going to pan out. I think I know. We got a brilliant analysis department here. I've got a great set of coaches working around me. This is the team we put up. These are the tactics we're going to employ. It might not pan out that way. It's like me. If I'm playing fullback against a winger and that winger keeps turning away and don't want to take me on, I'm going tighter and tighter and tighter. Probably on his first instance. If he comes and takes me on, rocks me confidence, I'm thinking, here's trouble here. You've got to work it out as an individual on the pitch as well for yourself, you know. Harry Kane's hardly got a kick of the ball tonight. Phil Foden's been a what would I say?
Peripheral figure?
A peripheral figure in the game.
A 3 or 4 out of 10, yeah.
A 3 or 4 out of 10. He's passed it inwards and sideways. For me, if you would have took Harry Kane off and put Bellingham as a drop number 9, put another holding midfield player on, put Gallagher on for his bit of energy, and put AZOIR on one side and Saka on the other, and said, I'll tell you what, we're coming after you. You know, Harry Kane, if that substitute was made in the second half, it wouldn't have mattered at that stage. We'd lost momentum and we were never ever going to wrestle momentum back off the Serbs, so I'm sad to say.
Let's have a look at individuals. I want to start with Harry Kane because the stats are really interesting. There's positives in there. He nearly scored, by the way, with a header. He had to be really physical with that. Keeper's made an absolutely world-class save, so he nearly got on the score sheet. He had as many touches in England's box as he did in Serbia's box. That's 1 each. He won 5 fouls, which was the most in the match, and that's a positive as well. But just 24 touches and 1 shot, the header that was well saved. You're looking for more from a key man for England, the captain for England, aren't you?
You definitely are. If I'm Harry Kane, I'll probably walk in and someone pins me and say, any chance of you getting involved a bit more? I'll turn around and say, we had a wide player go down the wing once, put a decent ball in the box, and the goalkeeper's made a world-class save to keep me out. Otherwise, I'm on the score sheet, and I'm in your face saying, do it again, and do it again. Otherwise, I can't get a foothold in this game. That would be my defence if I was Harry Kane. And he's got the ability to score. I'd love to know how many crosses we got in from the left-hand side of the pitch.
We could try and find that stat for you. In the meantime, we have got 2 strikers. We've taken 3 strikers this tournament. There are 2 strikers sitting on the bench watching that, and they're probably both thinking to themselves, I'll be amazed if they're not, I can impact this game more than Harry Kane is. But they're not saying I'm better than Harry Kane. They're thinking, I know I can come on and make a difference here, and yet they stayed there and Harry Kane stayed on.
They'll be thinking that, but they'll also be thinking, well, if you don't cross the ball, I'll never get a kick I'll never get a goal. If you're never getting wide areas and cross the ball.
I agree with you. I think that we've got to work that out. Harry Kane, the other question on Harry, is he fully fit? Because at the end of the season, he was taken off with a bad back in a crucial Champions League game that Bayern Munich went on to lose without him. Only came on late in the Iceland game. It started the Iceland game, but didn't look fully fit. Faye was pitch side and said his movement was fine. He looked okay. And I mean, that's what it looked like tonight. Was he 90 minutes fit, Harry Kane, in your opinion, Stu?
I can't tell you that. Only the kid himself will tell you whether he's fully fit, as in from a clinical aspect. What I would say is, I want my captain and one of our most integral players to be on the ball a little bit more, feeding things in, receiving the feet, popping the ball out wide, both left and right, seeing our wide players go and take people on and go past them, and putting the ball in the box for Harry Kane, who spun and got in the box, and Bellingham arriving in the box. Now, Bellingham arrived, he shot himself out of a cannon to get on the end of that. What we've got to do is say, if this kid's got the ability to get on the end of things, which he has done all season for his football club, feed the ball in the box. Because we had the ability to go past them, but we just turned it down too often for my liking.
Yeah, makes sense. England have won 1-0, by the way. It might sound like we're ripping apart a defeat, but England have won the opening game 1-0. It's just the performance that warrants that. You can have your say, 0371 722 3344, with the main men on the Sports Bar tonight, Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. They're coming up at past. We're going to get reaction from the England camp very shortly, but time now to cross over to our Carling correspondent, who's capturing the aftermath back home, live from Newcastle.
The Carling correspondent on TalkSport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
And it's TalkSport's Ian Abrahams in the northeast for a soaking up the atmosphere. Whereabouts are you, Ian?
Thanks, Adrian. Welcome to the Mayfair pub here in Newcastle, where I think it's fair to say that people are in good spirits, but they're more relieved, I think, of that England performance. Elliot, what's your overall impression?
We won, and that's class, but we weren't that good. Tactically, we were all over the shop. We got a lucky goal. It was class. I mean, we've got a lot of work to do before the knockouts.
Kenny, there's been some really good football in this tournament so far. Did we see it tonight?
Not the greatest, but we won in the bag, and that's what we need. We always win your first game. It's always a massive plus for every tournament, no matter what. But it wasn't the greatest, but at the end of the day, 3 points is 3 points.
Do you think the rest of Europe, the rest of the teams here will be frightened of England?
They are frightened of her. The performance wasn't great. The performances will improve over the tournament. They always do. We always seem to get better as the tournament goes on. So, yeah, the other teams will be worried about her, because, yeah, the other teams have scored 3, 4, 5 goals, but it's not how many goals you score, it's the performance itself, and I think that could be a bit of a problem.
Finally, Elliot, who should be worried about their places after tonight? Who didn't play well, in your opinion?
Trent. I love Trent. I'm a Liverpool fan, but Trent, he was out of position all night. He didn't play any decent balls in. I don't think he should have a spot on the team. Kane was out of position all night. He's been playing in the box, and he wasn't in the box all night. People were going forward, and there was nobody in there to put a ball into. Kane should be worried. I'd rather play Eze.
There we go. I think everyone's happy that England got 3 points tonight, Adrian, but I certainly think as well there's room for improvement.
Ian, great work. Thank you very much. Good to hear the views of the fans in the northeast. That was our Carling correspondent. Thanks to Carling. 18 plus. Please drink responsibly.
The Carling correspondent on TalkSport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
We're going to hear from the England camp very shortly on TalkSport, but they've won their first game of the Euros. They've beaten Serbia 1-0 live on TalkSport.
Euro Game Day Live, delivered by TalkSport with Burger King. Get your classic Game Day flame grilled Whopper made fresh and delivered to your door. Order your Burger King delivery now.
This tournament, prepare for greatness with William Hill. Get ready for last-minute winners, legendary goals, and straight red cards. Oh, what was he thinking? Win 25% more on every single game this tournament with Bet Builder Extra, online or in the app. Only from William Hill. Available day before match to kick-off. Bet Builders of 3+ selections at 3-1 or more. Pre-match singles, match stake £20. Full T's and C's apply. 18+, begambleaware.org.
Here she is, the 3-time world champion. What has she got in store for us today? Things are starting to heat up. Here she goes.
Triple builders, double stir. I don't believe it. And a chocolate digestive to finish it off. A thing of beauty, you have to say. The judges are gonna love this one.
British Gas, powering home fans during this summer of sport.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
On the beach, on the beach, on the beach.
Booking geniuses. Choose from thousands of amazing all-inclusive holidays with On the Beach. Go all in on all-inclusive. Leave the bank cards at home, but not your trunks. On the Beach. Book like a genius. Holiday like a fool.
ATOL protected.
On the beach.
Let's go live to hear about that winning goal.
The crowd's gone absolutely wild here. How on earth do you sum up your emotions right now?
Amazing. A hat-trick is just the best feeling ever.
Is it though? Is kicking a ball into the back of the net really better than food fulfillment from Burger King? That warm, fuzzy feeling of total food satisfaction, like finishing the last bite of a Gourmet King's Barbecue Steakhouse Angus.
No.
Correct. Burger King. That's food fulfillment.
You could skydive out of a plane. Or swim with sharks. You might even skinny dip in icy cold waters. Or you could get that inexpressible high, that guaranteed rush from finding just the thing you wanted, the thing you needed, at a great sale price. IKEA Summer Sale, now on. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
Well, you can see why people are talking about Asda, can't you?
Of course, on paper, Asda have a great lineup with 2 for £20 on packs of beer like Peroni. Then there's party wear from £1, the midfield trio of bunting, face paint and flags.
And don't forget the dependable 2 for £7 on Coke 8-packs could be the difference maker. What a lineup!
Get match ready at Asda with beer and decorations on offer until the 14th of July. Asda, that's more like it. Selected stores online subject to availability. Beer packs 10 times 330ml each, not available in Scotland. Coke 330ml, £4.25 each. May exclude express in small stores. See asda.com/small stores.
This Euros, The Sun is bringing you all the gossip, goals and giants of the game. Get insights and analysis from Harry, should have been England manager, Redknapp, Jack, the maestro, Wilshere, Gordon, no nonsense, Strachan, and Jurgen, the winner, Klinsmann. You won't want to miss it. Don't miss out, only in The Sun.
Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
On 1089 and 1053 medium wave, on DAB, online and on your smart speaker.
Official broadcaster of UEFA Euro 2024, Germany.
TalkSport.
It's TalkSport live in Gelsenkirchen, and we're still in the stadium. It's emptied out. This is where England have just won 1-0 in their opener at Euro 2024. Serbia 0, England 1. Jude Bellingham with the only goal of the game, but the performance has raised a lot of questions. It's Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport, presented by Burger King. Bring home the ultimate food satisfaction. Get your favourites delivered now. We wanted the stats on crosses. Jim Proudfoot has got all of those stats. So what do you know, Jim?
Well, the question that you asked was how many crosses there were. 9 is the answer to that,
For
compared
England.
to Serbia's 19.
Okay.
2 of those 9 came from the England left. Only one of those 2 from the England left flank came from the byline, where a player has beaten the full-back and whipped the ball in. The other came from midway inside the Serbian half. Phil Foden's stats, and you know, we're all huge admirers of Foden, but the conundrum remains how to bring the best out of him, and increasingly it seems that playing him on the left isn't the answer to that. Key passes tonight, 1. Crosses, 1, but it was inaccurate. Long balls, 2, both inaccurate. Shots, none. Dribble attempts, none. Possession lost, 11. So that's Phil Foden's performance tonight in a nutshell. And that isn't to have a go at Phil, but the point remains that he's played 35 games for England, and you could probably count on the fingers of one hand how many real match-winning performances he's had in those 35. And when you consider how stellar his form has been on such a consistent basis at club level, it just makes you wonder why England aren't getting the best out of him. The answer would seem to be increasingly because he's not been played in the right position.
I would say this. This conversation and tonight's commentary isn't about bashing Phil Foden. Not for me, it isn't.
Agreed.
You know, I support all the England players, but sometimes in games it might be a case of saying, look, this we can hurt the opposition by making an interchange early on. I think we could have done, personally. And the fact that we turned the opportunity down led to the second half. I wouldn't say it was an onslaught, but the second half when we were under pressure on the odd occasion.
And the change doesn't have to be taking Foden off. If he's ineffective in that position, you can change things around elsewhere. You could perhaps take Harry Kane off. He didn't come off at all tonight, but you could take Kane off. You could play Bellingham through the middle as a false nine with Foden in his role as a 10 and then have orthodox wingers on both sides. It would give a different look to the England midfield, and that's something that so rarely happens. When you look at Kane's performances, particularly in the big games for England, he very seldom comes off and only does when England are in a real position of strength and he's been taken off to rest him because England have already got the game won. He's never taken off as a positive change to make things happen.
And we glorify leading into this tournament about the options we got in the advanced area of the pitch. I would say out of those 4 players who play in the advanced area today, and I don't know whether either of you would agree with me, I thought Saka done okay and was a real threat, and Bellingham's got his goal, which is, you know, and I thought he played quite well in the first half, not so well the second half. The other 2 have had little disappointing games. Now, if you've got an embarrassment of riches, exchange them.
Because there are attacking players in the squad on the bench who could do something. If Harry Kane isn't fit, there are 2 strikers. But Bellingham as a false 9, Foden as a 10, could that possibly be the way to go forward in this tournament, Stuart, and get the best out of Phil Foden? Because it's a big question. Right, hang on a second. We'll answer that in a moment. Let's get to Faker Others, who's with Harry Kane.
Yes, I'm sitting here with the England captain. Congratulations, Harry. First win of the tournament. How did you feel out there tonight?
Yeah, it was a tough game. I think we started the game really well. We caused them a lot of problems early on and got the goal and deserved to be ahead. I think after that and spells in the second half, we found it difficult to play the football that we wanted to, and it became more of a battle, which we knew against Serbia it would be, and they credit to them, you know, they caused us some problems, but I think overall it's about, you know, grinding out this result and sticking together and defending the box well, because if we want to be European champions, we're going to have to keep clean sheets like we did today. So overall it's an important win, and we're happy to get off with 3 points.
Why was it that you couldn't get a foothold in that second half in particular? It felt like you lost control of the game a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. I think they changed their pressure. I think they went more man for man, and we struggled to keep the ball like we did in the first half. So yeah, that's something we have to improve for sure as you go further in the tournament. You know, that can happen, especially when you've got a 1-goal lead. So we spoke, you know, previous to the tournament about controlling the games better. So we'll have to analyse it and see where, you know, we could have done. We can improve and improve for the games ahead, because, you know, we've still got difficult games in the group. So yeah, we'll see. But, you know, this game was just about getting the 3 points, and we've done that.
One quick last question, because we're having a debate at the moment. You were playing a slightly different role. It felt you weren't dropping back like you would normally do, and didn't get as much of the ball as we're used to you seeing. Did you feel that? Where were you playing your game?
Yeah, I think you know, I spoke before the game about how my role as a striker will change for different opposition, and I think today, you know, they like to play the man, so I was kind of staying as high as I could to allow the space for Jude and allow the space for Phil and even Trent on that right hand side, and yeah, especially in that first half I didn't touch the ball probably as much as I'm used to, but, you know, being a striker sometimes you have to do what's best for the team, and I felt like that was the right call. Second half was more of a battle, more of, you know, typical number 9 of winning fouls and holding the ball up and bringing others into play, which is a different side to my game as well. So yeah, as a striker, you do whatever it takes to help the team, and yeah, I had the one chance in the second half where I think the keeper saved it onto the bar.
It was a great save, it was.
Yeah, so it would have been nice if that one obviously went in, but yeah, overall the most important thing is that we won the game.
Congratulations, 3 points on the board. Thank you, Harry.
Yeah, thank you. Cheers.
Yeah, really good interview, and Harry Kane giving us a lot of information there. 2 touches he had in the first half, which I don't know about anyone else, but for me that is a concern. Having said that, the flip side is there's a positive. He nearly scored with a bullet header in the second half. It was a world-class save. It's Euro Game Day live on TalkSport, presented by Carling, UK's #1 lager, 18+. Please drink responsibly. Look, Harry Kane, you can't leave him out, I don't think. That will be a major bold call from any manager. But if he isn't fit, that Bellingham false 9, Foden as a 10, is that a possibility, Stuart Pearce? Just to try and get the best out of Phil Foden, who we know is a brilliant player.
It should be a possibility. I'm not suggesting, look, it's one size fits all. So we've seen enough tonight to suggest that our captain, our centre forward, who's the record goal scorer for England, should not play again for England. What I'm suggesting is this. On occasion during games, and the second half would have been one of those occasions where we probably needed to fill up with legs a little bit more, our midfield, to turn the ball over, to attack quickly the opposition who'd come onto us. Harry coming off might have been the way forward, and either dropping Phil Foden into a number 10 role, or just have just behind Jude Gallagher for his legs and energy to go and press and do all those types of things. It's got to be interchangeable. This is the top echelons of football in the world, near enough. So it's got to be interchangeable. We've got to do it. We've got to do it quickly, and we've got to take the ego and everything out of it to do it, because I think we got away with it tonight. In a game that I thought, if we'd have really gone after them, it's a 3-0 comfortably. We'd have blown them away. We didn't do that, and we didn't look particularly good at trying to stop the flow when they come at us. It was almost, well, we'll get back in shape, but I don't really want to go and press you aggressively, collectively and individually, and we nearly paid the price for it.
Let's try and get a bit more positive, because England have won the game. They are top of the group. Let's take a look at the King performance, thanks to Burger King.
King Performance on TalkSport with Burger King. Bring home the ultimate food satisfaction with the Gourmet King's Barbecue Steakhouse Angus. Order your Burger King delivery now.
Well, all three of us have got a say in this. I don't know if you're aware of this, but the King Performance tonight in association with Burger King, I think it's actually quite obvious who warrants the King Performance. But Stuart Pearce, you go first of all. What do you reckon?
It's a choice of two. It's Bellingham or Saka, and I think, personally, probably Saka had more influence in hurting them, and he was more of a thorn in their side than Bellingham was. That's what I would say on this one.
I thought the Bellingham took his goal absolutely fantastically. I thought his first half performance off the ball was really good as well, the way he was coming back, and he made a couple of really good interventions around the edge of the penalty area. So I would go for him. Obviously, completely hear what you say about Saka, but an honourable mention as well for Gahey in his first game in a tournament. I think did everything that could have been expected of him and played his part in a defensive performance that allowed Serbia only one shot on target.
I was going to mention Gahey. You will hear from Mark Gahey in the Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy very shortly, so stand by for that. Get your calls into them as well, 03717223344. So have I got the casting vote then?
Yes, you have.
I hear what you say about Saka. I thought he faded in the second half.
So you're in agreement with me then?
No,
good.
not.
2-1.
Lost. Let me
unanimous. Done.
I think it might be 2-1.
I thought he was brilliant first half, and he put a couple of balls across, created the goal, faded badly, lost a couple of duels as well, could have been taken off before he was. I've got to go Jude Bellingham. I just thought it was an incredibly brave header. It reminded me of Brian Robson, that header.
It was an incredibly brave header. As I said, he was second favourite to get on the end of that, no doubt. He's got there, he scored the goal, and you need interactions like that, whether they be bravery, a bit of skill, whatever it is, they're game changers.
How lucky are we to have Jude Bellingham?
I think we're lucky to have a lot of players in our squad. More so Jude Bellingham. He's got the personality on the pitch. Certainly that first half showed that after the goal as well. He wanted it, and the rest of the players as well almost stepped away and let him have the ball on occasion. So we need one or two others to step up alongside him and show that arrogance that he has.
I mentioned before about how I worry about his discipline and the red mist. There was a teeny bit of that, but he controlled it. I thought the other worry is he gets targeted, and he was fouled a lot tonight. Let's go back to Faker Others, who's with Jordan Pickford.
I am. He's just trying to work out whether or not he's coming over to speak to us at the moment. He's done so many interviews so far. One last one, Jordan. I know. Congratulations. 3 points. Clean sheet as well. Another one in a major tournament for you.
Yeah, another team effort. Very proud and to get the clean sheet, but it's a team effort. You know me, I don't take the applaud all myself. I think it's a team. You know, all 11 on the pitch, lads coming off the bench, we work hard off the ball, and that's what gets us results. And I'm just there, ready to make saves when called upon.
Yeah, you weren't called upon too much in the first half, but the second half felt like a little bit of an onslaught.
Yeah, we know you've got to suffer as a team, and that's what you've got to go through in tournament football. Them suffering, you know, we've had them experience over the last 6-7 years of me being part of the England squad, and yeah, we knew that was going to come. We know we could have scored more goals, we didn't, but we got the clean sheet and we got the win. That's most important.
In terms of the back four, second time obviously they've played together, but first time you've played with the four of them together. It is. And well, it doesn't feel like it then in that case, but there were quite a few conversations going on at certain points. Was everybody in the positions that you wanted them to be? How did they get on?
Yeah, we know each other well. Even if it's my first time, we know how everyone plays, and yeah, we just, you know, we've got the 3 lines on. We're working as a team, and information. You know, we demand of each other to get better because we don't want to be sloppy in the game. And I don't think we were. I thought we worked very hard off the ball, and that's what, you know, all the way from H all the way back to me. That's what it's about.
It felt like you did that better than was done against Iceland as well in terms of the press.
Yeah. Every game's different, and you know that was Iceland. But now we're in the tournament. Now we're in the main part of it, and we've done our job. First job done. The major tournaments, to win your first group game is huge, and that's what we've done tonight. And enjoy the win, recover well, and get ready for the next one.
I'll tell you what you've also done tonight, as you know, is equalled Peter Shilton's appearance record for England with 20. Congratulations for that. That must be a really proud moment for you and your family.
Yeah, it's a great moment for me and my family, and you know, to be up there with one of the greats in the game is a great achievement. But I put a lot of hard work in to be the best version of myself, and I think I've got to take that proudness from that, because if I don't put the hard work in each day, I'm not in this position I am today, and I keep wanting to improve, and something I'll always keep doing.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you, Jordan. Congratulations.
Thank you. Cheers. Thank you, Jordan.
Jordan Pickford. Isn't it funny, we've been talking about how a lot of fans on TalkSport have been saying England's a bit ropey at the back. That's the worry. We're going to keep a clean sheet in the first game. And Jordan Pickford, yeah, he's matched Peter Shilton's 20 appearances in major tournaments. That is some record, and he is and has been under Gareth Southgate the undisputed number one goalkeeper. So we've heard from Jordan Pickford and Harry Kane. More reaction from the England camp to come, including the manager Gareth Southgate as well. Jude Bellingham was our King performer, our King Performance pick in association with Burger King.
King Performance on TalkSport with Burger King. Bring home the ultimate food satisfaction with the Gourmet King's Barbecue Steakhouse Angus. Order your Burger King delivery now.
Just finally and quickly, Stuart Pearce, let's be positive. We got a win. It's good, isn't it?
That's my middle name, Positive. But I've got to say, I'm positive when we get beat. When we win is the best time to point the finger, and I think Gareth will have a wonderful opportunity in that dressing room when the dust settles tomorrow to turn around and say, you know what, if we're going to go and win this tournament, it's got to be better than that. And why did it not go as well as we would have liked?
It was a scruffy 1-0 win. There are plenty of things worse than a scruffy 1-0 win.
That's so true. Jim Proudfoot, Stuart Pearce, thank you very much. We brought you live on TalkSport tonight. There's reaction to come in the sports bar, 03717223344. Get your calls, and I'm sure you've got plenty to say on that. Those calls will be racking up, and Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy will be taking those calls. Jeff Stelling and Gabby Agbonlahor will be on breakfast tomorrow, along with Ashley Young, David Moyes, Alan Pardew, all on breakfast live from Germany tomorrow morning from 6 UK time. And don't forget to look out for Henry Winter's verdict on this England performance on the website talksport.com tomorrow morning. And coming up very shortly on that website talksport.com, I'll be giving you my marks out of 10 for the England players tonight. Jude Bellingham's mark is quite high, I can reveal that. He was England's hero. I suspect that won't be the last time I say that in this job. Sports Bar next. O'Hara and Cundy, 03717 223344.
Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
We're BetMGM Sports and Casino. We know things aren't always golden. That's why we offer you the tools to keep your place safe. Set timeouts to always ensure you take a break when you feel like you need it. Set reality checks so you know exactly how long you've been playing. And set deposit limits to help control what you spend. Stay golden with BetMGM. Play responsibly.
18 plus. Well, you can see why people are talking about Asda, can't you?
Of course, on paper, Asda have a great lineup with 2 for £7 on Coke 8 packs. Then there's pizza price drops, including the talented spicy chicken fajita flavour and classic 4-cheese deep dish. Worth £3 each, now £2 each.
And don't forget the dependable garlic flatbread was £1.80, now £1.50. What a lineup!
Get match ready at Asda this summer. Asda, that's more like it. Selected stores online subject to availability. Coke 330ml, £4.25 each. Pizzas and flatbread end 17th of July. May exclude express and small stores. See asda.com/small stores.
Big game today. Talk us through how you got all the snacks.
Yeah, no, obviously I'm in the area, seen the BP, obviously parked up there, catch the crisp, grab some drinks, hit the line, I'm ready to pay. Obviously, scan me BP, me rewards card, back of the net. Yeah, no, so we're off to a good start, aren't we? So, yeah.
BP is here for all your big game essentials. Plus, BP Me Rewards members can earn points to put towards great saves. BP, here for all of life's journeys. Obviously. BP Me Rewards card or app required. For full T's and C's, visit ppmerewards.co.uk.
Well, the wait is finally over. And watch this. The fans appear to be playing the free Coral Reward Shaker. Here come the English, still managing to shake under all that weight of expectation. Oh, can you believe it? The free bet is coming home. Play the free Coral Reward Shaker to win guaranteed daily rewards and offers throughout the Euros. Coral, we're here for it.
18 plus UK. Max 1 reward or offer per player per day. Reward restrictions, requirements and T's and C's apply. Take time to think.
Do you belong here? Next to me, about to jump into the sea on an army coast-steering expedition. What's your gut saying? Walk away from the edge? Or jump in and join a team that will be by your side for life? Still listening? You belong here. Army, recruiting now. Search Army jobs.
Who are you going for at Royal Ascot?
The favourite. Yeah, the favourite.
The favourite without a doubt. This Royal Ascot, everyone's going for the free favourite pull-out in the sun. It's jam-packed with top tips and form guides for all the runners and riders. Plus a free £2 in-shop bet with Coral on Tuesday. Get your free favourite pull-out in the sun every day of Royal Ascot. T's and C's apply. 18 plus only. BeGambleAware.org.
This tournament, prepare for greatness with William Hill. Get ready for last-minute winners, legendary goals, and straight red cards. Oh, what was he thinking? Win 25% more on every single game this tournament with Bet Builder Extra, online or in the app, only from William Hill. Available day before match to kick-off. Bet Builders of 3+ selections at 3-1 or more. Pre-match singles, match stake £20. Full T's and C's apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Euro Game Day Live, delivered by TalkSport with Burger King. Get the ultimate food satisfaction this half-time with the flame-grilled bacon double cheeseburger XL. Order now on the Burger King app.
Great Scott! Euro 2024 on TalkSport and TalkSport 2.
Come listen here and we will see Scotland's fate in Germany. Tune in each day. The games are free on medium wave and DAB.
Listen to TalkSport for full flavour, totally tartanised transmissions of Scotland's classic Caledonian Crusade in Germany.
Of lesser talk, we've had enough. We've got the single malted stuff to stop your head from feeling rough.
Euro 2024 on TalkSport and TalkSport 2.
TalkSport. Every game, goal and glorious moments from the tournament. Rein, sealed and delivered. Every day.
He sinks to his knees in relief.
Euro Sports Bar Weekender with Jason Cundy and Jamie O'Hara. On TalkSport. Pump up your summer.
Yeah, good evening and welcome to the Euro Sports Bar Weekender. I'm Jamie Nara and I'm beside tonight Jason Cummings.
Has anyone seen Scotland? Oh my God.
Still Scotland.
Still Scotland.
Right, England win their first game of the Euros 1-0 against Serbia. But that performance inspire you. Phil Foden wasted on the left-hand side. Harry Kane's performance not great. Trent in midfield. Loads to talk about. It's the Sports Bar. We're already waiting to get on. So get involved in the show. 03 717 22 33 44. Hello, mate.
Hello, mate. What's going on with the music?
It feels a bit weird, doesn't it?
What's
The old
that
music.
there? Bit of Euro music.
What's this? It's a bit different. It's
Bit
not a
of
sports
Euro.
bar. Keep it simple, lads, will you? Trying to change it up.
Bit of Euro music. Hello, matey. How are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm good. I've just done a live watch along on YouTube. You've just done one with Adiola Depot.
Yes, I did.
Which was downstairs, so I haven't actually seen you. This is the first time. Normally we come on and we pretend that we've not seen each other and we've been sat with each other for 2 hours, but I've genuinely not seen you.
Not seen you at all.
So what did you make of that performance, first and foremost?
First half, I thought it was okay, stroke decent, without being brilliant. I liked the movement up front. I thought Bellingham and Foden started all right together. Saka out on that right-hand side. More often than right, we're a bit lopsided. No threat down the left at all. No threat.
Awful.
And it was no surprise that our goal come from the right. Brilliant ball. And the way they were set up with a 5 at the back, I thought it'd be almost impossible to get Saka involved in the game. But the pass from Walker, the run from Saka, had to be spot on. A little bit fortuitous, the way that it ricochets off the underneath.
We're going to have to go to Faye Carruthers because she's with England manager Gareth Southgate.
Gareth, congratulations. 3 points in the opening game. What did you make of the result and the performance?
Well, very pleased with both. I think in the first half we used the ball really, really well. Had complete control of the game.